A trip up the Pacific Coast Highway has led us here, Sinsheimer Field in San Luis Obispo. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Slow Cal alongside Aaron Goldstein. I'm Anthony Vasquez. And Aaron, we knew this was going to be a grueling week for the Saints. 6 games in 6 days, but they really aren't helping the cause. Losers of 4 straight.
That's right, and last night they lost 4-3 to the MLB Academy Barons. Anthony, this 4-game losing streak comes right after a 5-game winning streak, so they're looking to turn the tide very quickly today in San Luis Obispo, and it starts with Carson McKinney on the bump.
That's right. Carson McKinney is going to get the start today, but he's going to be followed up with Chris Stamos, a CCL All-Star. He was just named to the team today, actually, and he's trying to rebound after a rather rough outing.
Certainly, and Stamos has been one of the most consistent arms the Saints have had, starter or out of the bullpen. And speaking of the All-Star game, Anthony, the Saints have 5 All-Stars. Drew Cowley, Stamos, who we just mentioned, the lone pitcher for the Saints, making an All-Star appearance. And then Kyson Donahue and Matt Wong, the Hawaii tandem that we've talked about so much this year, and rounding out the All-Star lineup for the Saints, Cooper Harris, the backstop.
And 3 of those 4 All-Stars on the hitting side will be starting today. Drew Cowley, Matt Wong, and Cooper Harris in the 2, 3, and 8 spot, respectively. But, Aaron, there's some more solace on the horizon as a couple of new faces enter the lineup today.
That's right. Artin Biagin from the Glendale Community College Vaqueros, and he has excellent stats for Glendale CC. Actually, he was coached by Coach Sergio Palencia, who's the third base coach for the Saints at Glendale, and excellent stats, as I talked about. Career .311 hitter for the Vaqueros, on-base percentage north of 400, so he's certainly a welcome addition to the Saints roster.
They also have Jared Puhanda from LA Valley College. He'll be hitting 4th today in right field. What a way to make your Saints debut. First game in San Luis Obispo, big crowd, and you're hitting 4th. So while the batting order is trying to mix in the new with a few staples in the lineup who can now call themselves CCL All-Stars, these Slow Blues have some great players on their roster as well. 4 All-Stars, Nate Schmela and Cody Darcy are the pair cracking the lineup today for the Blues. Sitting at the bottom of the CCL South, though, the Blues.
That's right, but for the Blues, starting today is Maybe, and he's been exceptional this year, 2.70 ERA. He pitched against the Arroyo Seco Saints once this year. That was at home in an 11-3 win. He went 5 innings, allowing 3 runs, so the Saints did hit him a little bit, knocking 6 hits, also had a walk. Strikeouts were low, only 3, but again, that was an 11-3 win for the San Luis Obispo Blues, so he'll be looking to do what he did against the Saints last time again today.
So a couple of Midwestern schools being represented today. Carson McKinney, of course, just committing to Kansas this summer. And meanwhile, Cameron Maybe from Illinois State, the Redbirds over in the Missouri Valley. So it should be a great one on this Saturday afternoon. We're certainly excited that you're watching with us on the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network. It's Slow and Arroyo Seco on this Saturday afternoon coming up right after this break. It's Saturday night baseball here in San Luis Obispo. The Arroyo Seco Saints traveling north 3.5 hours via bus once again. Anthony Vasquez alongside Aaron Goldstein. And Aaron, we have some Chipotle in us. Let's hope the players have some food in them as well. The bus was a little late, a little bit of some traffic in Santa Barbara. But outside of the food situation, what are some of the keys for this Arroyo Seco offense that's really fallen on some hard times during their 4-game losing streak?
Well, you said it, and there's some new faces in the lineup today that we mentioned in the pregame, but it starts with the stars. Kyson Donahue has the day off, but you still have Drew Cowley in the lineup. They call him Mr. Saint for a reason. This is his 4th year with the club, and he's an extraordinary leader and hitter. He'll be in the lineup. You also have Matt Wong, so you got to rely on your big bats to do damage and produce against a very tough pitcher in Cameron Mabey.
Yep, Cameron Mabey. This is the lineup he'll have to face today. The Illinois State Redbird will get Jordan Rogers in the leadoff spot, batting there for the 3rd consecutive time. He'll be actually playing center field today, while All-Star Drew Cowley will be at shortstop. A fellow All-Star, Matt Wong, will take the reins at the DH, and Jared Buhonda making his Arroyo Seco Saints debut. He'll be in right field hitting 4th. Matt Marlowe hitting 5th and playing 3rd. Jacob Sanchez is back in the lineup. He's playing first base and hitting 6th. Jackson Walker, who's been as hot as any Arroyo Seco Saint these past 4 games, he'll be in left field. Cooper Harris will take the reins at catcher. And another Arroyo Seco Saint making his debut from Glendale Community College, it is Aiden Biagian. He'll be playing second base. So we're about ready to get underway. Cameron Mabey will be facing off against Jordan Rogers, a righty-on-righty matchup to start off this Saturday afternoon at San Luis Obispo. Mabey working from the stretch, kicks and deals. A first pitch strike, and we're underway from Sinsheimer Field. The Blues and the Saints.
Anthony Rogers has been awesome in that leadoff spot for Coach Aaron Milam in these last couple games.
Here's the 0-1, bounced in over the right side, diving stop by Tolia, toss on over to Mabey, and a nice play by the first baseman Zach Tolia for the game's first out. 1 up, 1 down for Cameron Mabey on just 2 pitches. And that'll bring up Drew Cowley, today's shortstop.
Anthony, this is Cowley's first start of this CCL season at shortstop. We've seen him at 3rd base and at 2nd base. This is his first time at short.
He's a very versatile infielder. Same thing on Oregon, played 2nd, short, and 3rd. Batting from the left side. First pitch taking, and Mabey delivers a first pitch fastball.
And Anthony, I love Cowley in the 2 spot. We've seen him leading off for Arroyo Seco, but I think he fits perfectly in the 2 hole.
The 0-1 in the dirt ball for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Drew Cowley, who's continuing his torrid streak with the Arroyo Seco Saints. Last year he left off leading the CCL in hits, was an all-league player, and in the showcase game that will be set for this Wednesday, it's something that Drew Cowley will be participating again in next week as he lines a shot for a base hit in a right center field. Hustling over is Luke Pemberton. He'll cut it off, toss it over to second base. So Arroyo Seco has its first hit of the game. Drew Cowley a single to right.
That's just a trademark Drew Cowley hit. We've seen it so many times, a line drive over the second baseman for an easy single. And hopefully the Saints can use that to score some runs in this first inning and get on the board first.
So Drew Cowley continuing his hot streak with the Saints. Came into this game hitting just .260, but he's really been hitting the ball hard, falling into some bad luck against the Barons yesterday. And now striding in is Matt Wong, today's DH. This maybe tosses back over to first, and Drew Cowley's in there safely. So Matt Wong and Cowley will head 30 minutes south to Compton next Wednesday. They were just named CCL All-Stars today. Wong, one of the key hitters in this lineup, hitting .292 on the season, takes inside, ball 1.
Anthony, Wong was a little banged up. He missed the last few games because of a lifting injury. He's back in the lineup today. The Saints need his bat.
Wong 5th overall in the CCL in home runs. He has 5 of them, 2nd in the CCL South Division as he pops one into right field. Fair ball down the right field line. That'll be rolling into the corner. Drew Cowley hustling to 3rd. Serge Placencia will hold him up, and the Saints are in business early. Matt Wong a double at 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out.
Anthony, the Saints have come into this ballgame losing 4 straight, and they needed some breaks. They got one right there as that was just fair down the right field line, a flare, and it rolled into the right field corner, as you said. So nice piece of hitting by Matt Wong, getting that ball in the air, but nice break for the Saints as that hits chalk and is a fair ball. and a huge opportunity for the newcomer for Arroyo Seco.
That's right, Aaron. It was fair by only maybe a few feet at most. But Matt Wong will take it. He's on second, Drew Kelly on third, and here is Jared Buhonda making his Arroyo Seco Saint debut in the left-hander's batter's box. First pitch on the way, swung on and missed, strike one. So already a big RBI opportunity for in this one. Coach Aaron Milam said the big key for the Saints is striking early. They didn't do it against the Barons yesterday. Really got on his team in the post-game huddle. And the Saints are threatening early here, trying to rebound after a tough one-run loss against the Barons yesterday that had the tying run on third base with nobody out, and Arroyo Seco wasn't able to bring him in.
Anthony Buhonda going with no batting gloves. I love it.
Sort of an old-school look there, partner. Maybe set the 0-1. Bounced on over to second. Darius Price only has one play, and it's to first. So in his first at-bat, Jared Buhonda bounces out to second, but he scores Drew Kelly from third, and the Arroyo Seco Saints draw first blood in the first.
As you said, Anthony, a productive out for Buhonda in his first at-bat with Arroyo Seco, and a great sign. That's something that they've been unable to do consistently this year, is get runners in from third with less than 2 outs. Buhonda does it there. Coach Milam and the rest of this coaching staff has to be pleased.
Well, they out-hit the Barons yesterday by almost 9. They couldn't bring in all their runs, though, as Matt Marlowe will flare this one into center field. So shallow that C.J. Maciel will make the catch to end the frame, but not before Jared Buhonda in his first at-bat with the Saints has an RBI ground out to second as we go to the bottom of the first inning. Saints 1 and the Blues coming up. So as Carson McKinney continues his warm-ups to start off his bottom of the first inning, let's look at the lineup we'll be facing today. C.J. Maciel will lead things off at shortstop. Garrett Brooks will be playing left field. Nate Schmela, an all-star for the San Luis Obispo Blues, will be behind the plate, while Zach Tolle will be at first hitting cleanup. Cody Darcy, a second all-star for the Blues, will be at third base, while E.J. Krutzman will be today's DH. And bottom third of the order for slow, Cole Gabrielson in center, Darius Price at second base, and Luke Pemberton in right facing off against Carson McKinney. And Aaron, quickly now, what are some of the keys for Carson to be successful today?
I think the biggest key, Anthony, is limiting the walks. In 12 1/3 innings pitched, he has 13 walks, so if he can do that, he'll put himself in a good position. ERA north of 8 this season, so first key for Carson McKinney, limit those walks, attack the zone.
He has 13 walks compared to 8 strikeouts, and he attacks the zone here for strike one with the fastball, and Carson McKinney's day is underway. The future Kansas Jayhawk just committed while we were on the Central California road trip, facing C.J. Maciel. McKinney also working from the windup, will deliver a fastball that Maciel fouls up the third baseline foul, 0-2. So far, Maciel hitting .220 on the season. Second on the team in at-bats with 109 of them. One of the regulars in the lineup for slow. He's quickly behind, 0-2. The pitch from McKinney. Misses high for ball one. Appeal down to first. He did not go.
And Anthony, this is McKinney's 5th start with Arroyo Seco. His first against Slow. However, he has some chemistry with Cooper Harris now, pitching to him a lot.
The 1-2. Misses high to even up the count. Mentioned Cooper Harris. Another all-star for this Arroyo Seco team. Two balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Maciel. Misses outside, so 3 consecutive misses for Carson McKinney after he got Maciel ahead 0-2.
That's what we talked about, Anthony, is having command. It doesn't just apply to walks, it's are you executing your pitches?
All of a sudden, a payoff pitch is needed from McKinney. Set at the belt. The pitch. Misses outside, ball 4. It looked like McKinney slipped on the mound. Either way, C.J. Maciel will start off the day for the Blues with a walk.
I love that from Cooper Harris, going out and talking to his pitcher. Had him 0-2 and let him crawl back in the count, and eventually batter was able to draw the base on balls. So just regroup, and you can erase that walk in one pitch with a double play.
The thing is, Garrett Brooks has been one of the hottest hitters on the Blues so far. He's yet to bounce into a double play, and he's riding a 6-game hitting streak. Went 2 for 4 against the Barons a couple days ago, as he takes ball 1 up and away. Brooks has raised his average to .278 thanks to a 6-game hitting streak. Shmela will take his lead off first, the 1-0. Misses in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. It gets away from Harris, no throw on down, and C.J. Maciel will take second on the wild pitch.
Anthony, the battle between these two guys is the battle of Texas. Garrett Brooks from Spring Branch, Texas, and Carson McKinney, originally from Tomball, Texas. And he spoke about his decision to enter the transfer portal and commit to Kansas. Formerly, he was with the University of Texas.
Here's the 2-0. Miss is just up. McKinney wanted that one. Instead, it's another miss. 3 balls and no strikes of the hot-hitting Brooks with Nate Shmela on deck. Already a runner in scoring position for Slow. Maciel walked and took second on the wild pitch. McKinney's behind 3-0. And he's unable to battle back as Garrett Brooks will take the walk. Already 2 for McKinney. And the Blues are threatening. First and second, nobody out for Shmela.
And Shmela is not the guy you want to face, hitting .333 on the season with 22 hits.
Also, Shmela's also yet to ground into a double play, hitting triple threes, .333, as Goose is coming out to check on McKinney.
And Anthony, the rule is 2 walks and you get a mound visit. It's been consistent throughout the season for Coach Goose.
And all Arroyo Seco is looking for in his innings. He got Chris Stamos lurking in the bullpen, ready to go in a moment's notice. So far, Carson McKinney 8 consecutive misses after he had C.J. Maciel, the leadoff hitter, ahead 0-2. As Goose will come out to check on him.
And Anthony, all of these pitching staffs are depleted at this point in the season. Guys want to be rested in the summer. They're not pitching every day like their spring seasons. So you need length out of your starting pitchers.
Thankfully, Carson McKinney's pitch count still relatively under control. Just 10 pitches to the first 2 hitters. You can get a big couple outs right here with a ground ball. The sure-handed infield for the Saints. Matt Marlowe playing at third. Drew Cowley making his first start of the summer at short. Then at second base, it is Aiden Biagian, and at first it is Jacob Sanchez. Sanchez playing in on the grass, expecting bunt. Instead, Shmela pokes it in right field for a base hit. It'll 2-hop into the glove of the right fielder, Jared Buhonda, and the San Luis Obispo Blues have its first hit of the day, and all of a sudden their bases are loaded with nobody out.
We talked about Shmela being an amazing hitter. You see it on that pitch going the other way, lining a base hit in the 3-4 hole. Now the bases are loaded for the cleanup man, Toglia.
Hitting in the cleanup spot for a reason. The team leader with 4 home runs. He's got 4 of the 17 hits so far by the Slow Blues. And Carson McKinney has worked himself into some trouble here in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Tolia in the dirt in the left-hander's batter's box, ball one.
And Anthony, also excellent discipline, 25 walks on the season.
He's also the team leader in that category by 10. Leads a couple of slow Blues players. So Tolia, despite the low average, can do a lot more than that here. Here's the 1-0. An excuse-me hack sent up the first baseline foul. And McKinney is able to even up the count at 1.
The Saints corners are in here. Middle back looking to turn 2.
And this slow team goes as Zach Tolia goes. Team leader in at-bats in a big RBI situation as McKinney misses high to fall behind 2-1. Tolia also the team leader in RBIs with 23. So if Slow wants anybody to come up in an RBI situation, this is their man. McKinney set the 2-1. Misses high, 3 balls and no strikes with nowhere to put the 4-hitter.
And a dangerous pitch coming up, Anthony. You don't want to groove one, as you know the capabilities of Tolia, especially with power, but by the same token, you don't want to walk the guy and force in a run.
He has the eye of a hawk, does Tolia. Despite having only 1 hit in his past 4 games, he's got on base enough to score 4 runs. McKinney needs to throw a strike here, the 3-1. Fouled back to the screen. Tolia just missed that one. McKinney able to work himself into a full count yet again. So C.J. Mossiel will take the lead off third. Garrett Brooks off of second and Shmela off of first. 2 walks and a hit already off of Carson McKinney. The payoff pitch misses high, ball 4, and Zach Tolia will draw his 26th walk of the year, extending his team lead, and the Slow Blues answer in the bottom of the first. It's 1-1.
And 3 walks in the inning for Carson McKinney. Still nobody out. And Anthony, we talked about it in the pregame. One of the biggest keys for Carson McKinney in order to be successful is to throw strikes and attack the zone, and right now he's just not doing that.
Well, still McKinney is a ground ball away from maybe cutting down a run and netting himself the double play, but here is Cody Darcy, the other all-star Slow has in the lineup today, hitting .244 on the season. He first pitch swings here, sends it to left field, and that'll get down for a base hit and roll all the way to the corner. Walker's able to run after it. From the warning track, will toss it in. Not before Cody Darcy unleashes off of Carson McKinney, a 2-run double to give the Blues a 3-run lead.
Great piece of hitting by Darcy, lining that down the left field line over the head of Jackson Walker in left. And Anthony, when you play with fire, after a while you're going to get burned. You see it there.
So Cody Darcy is on second. The Blues have second and third with nobody out, as Goose is already coming to check on Carson McKinney, and that will spell the end for him just like that. It only lasted 5 hitters. The Blues have second and third and still nobody out, and Chris Stamos is coming into the game. So we're going to take a short break. Stamos coming out with second and third, nobody out on the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network. Boy, has this game changed in a hurry. Carson McKinney started the game, faced 5 hitters, and all of them got on base, capped off by Cody Darcy's 2-run double. And Aaron, here to stop the jam now, it's a left-hander, Chris Stamos.
And Stamos has been one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent arm for the Arroyo Seco Saints this season. 3.43 ERA, an 18 innings pitched, and a whopping, Anthony, 35 strikeouts. He really struggled in his last outing, which you talked about in the pregame, surrendering 5 earned runs in 0 innings pitched, but even with that, a 3.4 ERA, which is very respectable.
That's right. He faced 7 hitters in that game, and all of them got on base, so we'll see if that's just a blip in the radar for Chris Stamos as he's coming in to face the lefty E.J. Krutzman, today's DH. Blues still threatening, though. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. They scored a run on a walk. Zach Tolia drew it, the 4-hitter, with the bases loaded. Then Cody Darcy unleashed with a 2-run double to left. Now it's Krutzman. And Stamos goes first pitch, breaking ball that misses high, ball 1. So far in the year, Krutzman hitting .231. Blues in the bottom half of the CCL just hitting .241 as a team. Krutzman hitting 10 points below that. Stamos delivers, and it's swung on and missed, strike 1.
The Saints are going to need Stamos to give them some length out of the bullpen today. Their starting pitcher not recording 1 out. That was Carson McKinney.
Stamos needs a strikeout. He's 2nd in the CCL in that category with 35 of them. Instead, Krutzman's able to put the ball in play, bounces it over to 2nd, and nailing and getting the out is Arden Biaggi into Jacob Sanchez. So the Saints are able to get the first out at the bottom of the 1st, but it's an RBI ground out by Cody Darcy to make it 4-1. E.J. Krutzman, rather, to make it 4-1.
Productive out by Krutzman. That's his 9th RBI of the season.
Now that'll bring up Cole Gabrielson, playing center field today. Still yet to record a hit in the CCL. 0 for 14 in 5 games played. Went 0 for 3 against the Barons on July 14th. First pitch to Gabrielson, fouled away for strike 1.
And Anthony, we usually see Aiden Anderson, the center fielder for the Slow Blues. He's usually in the leadoff spot. Today he's out of the lineup, and we have Gabrielson.
Stamos set. The 0-1. Breaking ball, popped foul, 0-2.
It looks like Stamos has his command today, flipping in excellent breaking balls that are catching the plate.
So far this year, 5 strikeouts and 14 at-bats for Gabrielson, and boy, would Stamos love to make it number 6 in this at-bat. Cody Darcy, the third baseman, 90 feet away from giving slow. It's 5th run. The 0-2. Called, strike 3 on the outside corner. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. A huge strikeout for Chris Stamos on 3 pitches. That sends Cole Gabrielson to the bench, and Darius Price will come up with 2 outs.
Anthony, someone should send that to Pitching Ninja because that was some paint on the outside corner, perfectly placed.
On the edge of that left-hander's batter's box, right on the black. Home plate umpire rung up Gabrielson for a 6th strikeout, and now Stamos has a chance to halt this surge for slow and keep it at 4-1 as Darius Price swings and misses, a 0-1. That was strikeout number 36 on the year for Chris Stamos. That puts him in 2nd place in the CCL by himself. Bryson Van Sickle, a fellow San Luis Obispo pitcher. Saints have faced him once before. Now 3rd with 35 Ks. The 0-1 to Price. In the dirt, Harris able to pick it and leaving the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Misses in the same exact spot. No, it's actually called for strike 2, rather.
Surprised me.
A little bit tough to tell with the home plate umpire right in front of us and us in the press box, but it just caught that outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stamos, one big pitch away here from halting this slow rally. Here's the 1-2. Chopped foul up the first base line, and we'll do it again.
He went with the breaking ball there, 1 and 2. Caught a little too much of the plate. You want to have that low to try to induce the chase.
Price in a bit of a cold spell, 1 for his last 12 in his 4 games, lowering his average to 182 on the year. He is able to get on base a healthy amount, a 387 clip. Stamos with the 1-2. Price will pop it up. In the left field, Jackson Walker ranging to his right towards the foul line, will camp under it for the third out, but the San Luis Obispo Blues explode for 4 runs thanks to Zach Tolia a walk and Cody Darcy a 2-run double, followed up by an RBI ground out at the end of 1. Fireworks early, 4-1 slow leads. Cameron Mabey right back out there in the top of the second inning, all of a sudden with the lead after Slow scored 4 runs in the bottom of the first. All 4 charged to starter Carson McKinney, who only lasted 5 hitters, with all 5 of them reaching base. But the Saints have the offense to bring themselves back, though. It'll be 6, 7, 8, Sanchez, Walker, and Cooper Harris. Saints were able to score a run in the top of the first. Jared Buhonda, an RBI ground out to the second baseman Darius Price. Righty-righty matchup to start the top of the second inning for Jacob Sanchez. First pitch, a bouncer towards the shortstop. C.J. Maciel on the run. Sidearm toss is wide of the bag, but Zach Tolia will step off and tag Jacob Sanchez for out number 1 in the top of the second.
Nice play there by Tolia. You always secure the ball first and then worry about the tag, because a lot of times you try to tag before having possession of the ball. Tolia that time catches and then makes the tag.
Now it brings up Jackson Walker.
Stay hot, Jackson Walker.
That's right, had 3 hits against the Academy Barons, including a triple.
Anthony, that may have been an inside the park home run if he didn't fall down between first and second base.
That's right, he had the legs to speed it out to third. Could have been a lot closer should he decided to go home, as Walker takes a strike from Mabry, 0-1.
And Anthony, Coach Dave Fiesler, in the post-game speech to the players, highlighted Jack Walker as one of the lone bright spots for the Saints.
As the 0-1 rather, misses in the dirt to even up the count. With a lot of mixing and matching on the plate of Coach Aaron Milan with the batting order, Jackson Walker has reaped the benefits of some extra playing time. 5 for his last 9 in his past couple games. That was on the heels of playing relatively sparingly. Was a defensive replacement of the game before that against the Riptide, as he bounces one up the middle. C.J. Maciel from behind second base in the outfield will make the play. So 2 up, 2 down in the second for Cameron Mabry, and that'll bring up Cooper Harris, the 8-hitter.
A hard hit ball for Walker. He's not rewarded there. Nice play ranging up the middle.
So that'll bring in all-star Cooper Harris now. And you might gawk at his average, saying, hey, he has 172. How in the world is he an all-star? But the intangibles that maybe miss the box score sometimes is what really puts him ahead of the other catchers in the CCL South Division.
Also that on-base percentage.
The team leader at over 440. First pitch swinging here is Harris. Fouls it off, 0-1. And all this comes as a relative surprise, as he played sparingly for Wichita State in 2021. He only hit 136 for them, started 7 games. Did have a home run, but he had the highest strikeout rate on the team. As the 0-1 misses outside, the left-hander's batter's box, 1-1. And all of a sudden this summer, Cooper Harris has exploded and bursted onto the scene as one of the best catchers Coach Aaron Milam has ever had. Leading the team with 20 walks, tied with Kyson Donahue. As Harris fouls out away, he's in a 1-2 hole. Harris has also showed some speed as well. 6 for 6 stealing bases. Didn't do that at all at Wichita State.
Anthony stole 2 last night. Stole 3rd.
Harris didn't play in 2022. Looking to really get more playing time behind the plate as the Shocker starting catcher is set to graduate. And Harris would have the most experience on the roster as that pitch misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aiden Biagian waiting on deck, ready to make his Arroyo Seco Saints debut. Should Harris get on base with 2 outs. May be set, the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. It froze Cooper Harris with the fastball, and a 1-2-3 inning for Cameron Mabee in the top of the 2nd inning. Blues up 4-1 heading to the bottom of the 2nd. Chris Stamos playing the role of a stopper here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, trying to keep this deficit at 3. The Blues lead at 4-1. Bottom of the order plus the top of the order for the Blues, 9-1-2. Luke Pemberton, C.J. Maciel, and Garrett Brooks. They'll be hitting after 8 hitters came to the plate for the Solo Blues and 4 runs crossed the plate against Carson McKinney. Now Chris Stamos right back out there for a 2nd inning of work, this time with the bases clear. First pitch swinging is Pemberton, fouled off 0-1. Pemberton this year just 3 points ahead of the Mendoza line, 203 on the season in 23 games. Does have a couple home runs and 13 RBIs. But the stat that really pops out at you is a strikeout rate. Over 50% of the time, Pemberton goes down on strikes, and that plays into Chris Stamos' favor. 2nd in the CCL with now 36 Ks. Going with the hesitation move. Misses outside of the fastball, 1-2.
Anthony Stamos has looked really good. That fastball looks like it has some extra life on it.
Here's the 1-2. Line into right center field. That'll get down for a base hit. Jordan Rogers arranged to his left. He'll cut it off right before Jared Bohanda had an opportunity to get it. And a leadoff single to start the 2nd by 9-hitter Luke Pemberton.
Nice swing there by Pemberton, lining it into right center field for a base hit. For Stamos, no worries, just try to turn 2 or get the strikeout here.
So the lineup will flip over for the first time today for either team. C.J. Maciel, today's shortstop, will stride at the plate for a 2nd time. Lefty-righty matchup. First pitch is fouled off. Over to the slow bullpen up the right field line, 0-1. Maciel was behind 0-2 to Carson McKinney, then took 4 consecutive misses to get on first. He ended up scoring the first run for the Blues.
He ignited that rally.
Can he ignite one here in the bottom of the second inning? Is quickly behind 0-2 to Stamos. Pemberton was behind 0-2 to start the inning, and he flipped one into right center for a single. His 15th hit of the summer. Only has 1 extra base hit. The slide step on the 0-2 misses away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Maciel. Pemberton, a relative conservative lead on first. He's 2 for 5 stealing bases this summer. As the 1-2 misses in the dirt, Harris can't find it. And taking second base on the wild pitch is a 9-hitter Luke Pemberton. So this inning going a lot like the first. Maciel walked and took second on a wild pitch in the first. Now Pemberton does the same in the second.
Anthony, that's the risk you take by throwing a breaking ball with runners on base, is that if it bounces and your catcher's unable to keep it close to them, runners advance.
It works both ways. You want to dirt it, but you also have to have the trust in Cooper Harris to block it.
Harris usually does that effectively.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. And another runner in scoring position for San Luis Obispo. The pitch to Maciel. Inside, ball 3. And Chris Stamos, 3 consecutive misses after having Maciel in an 0-2 hole. Garrett Brooks waiting on deck. Will he have 2 runners on base or only 1? Or maybe even none if Stamos can get a line drive. The payoff pitch. A bouncer up the middle. It's caught by Biagian. Toss over to first, and Jacob Sanchez was nowhere there. He thought it got into center field for a base hit. Biagian tossed it over, and a costly fielding mistake by the Saints will give Slow their 5th run of the day.
Anthony, very tough break there. Sanchez thought that ball was in center field for a hit, and as you know, if there's a play at the plate and the ball is hit to center field or right field, the first baseman is the cutoff. So he was getting ready to cut the ball off, thinking that Jordan Rogers would field it in center and fired it in. Second baseman for the Saints had other plans, and that's just poor execution on the part of the Saints. You always have to wait to make sure it does, in fact, get to the outfield.
It was a heck of a play by Biagian going up the middle to field it, but his toss over to first really found nobody. Sanchez, like you said, Aaron, was trying to cover home plate, be the cutoff man, so a costly run for the Saints makes it 5-1 San Luis Obispo. After a fielding mistake, they're going to rule it as a single.
There's got to be an error somewhere as the runner
likely an error to
advanced.
go to second base as well.
But my question is, who's the error on?
The 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1.
Anthony, it's a very interesting thing on the fact that the second baseman for the Saints had the throwing error. However, it wasn't his fault as Sanchez vacated the bag.
The 1-1 to Garrett Brooks. Swung on and missed strike 2. The error is given to the second baseman, Biagian, and it really is a tough error. He made a nice play up the middle to maybe steal a single. Had an opportunity to get him at first base, but Jacob Sanchez thought the ball got through and was covering right behind the pitcher's mound to act as the cutoff man for the center fielder, Jordan Rogers.
And Anthony, that just shows what an amazing play it was by Biagian. It was so good that his own teammate didn't think he had a shot at it.
So the Blues swapping runners on second base. Pemberton scores, Maciel in the second. Garrett Brooks, a left fielder in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. He also walked on 4 pitches against Carson McKinney. Came around to score the second run for the Slow Blues.
Anthony, in all my years watching baseball, I don't think I've ever seen that.
The 1-2. Slider misses in the dirt in the right-hander's batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So for the Blues so far, 5 runs on 4 hits. And for the Saints, 1 run on just 2. Having to work from behind once again. Something they've been doing a lot during their 4-game losing streak. As Chris Stamos will get strike out number 37 on the season. He gets Garrett Brooks swinging at a breaking ball in the dirt for the first out of the bottom of the second.
Great pitch there by Stamos.
One of the better ones we've seen today. 1 gone. Still a runner on second in Maciel. And Nate Schmela will stride to the plate. Schmela singled in the hole over to right field in his last time up. That low to the bases for the Blues. This time he'll take a pitch in the dirt for ball one. Off to third is Maciel rather, and he's in there. Advancing a third on the wild pitch is a leadoff man playing short, and now he's 90 feet away from giving slow its sixth run of the game, having a chance to go up 6-1 here in the second.
It looks like the Saints infield back here conceding the run, already trailing by 4 in the second inning, just looking for outs, Anthony.
The 1-0. Ground ball, base hit down the third baseline, and that'll roll in the left field. Nate Schmela will have extra bases. Walker just picks it up. And for the second time in as many innings, the Blues have an RBI double. This time it's Nate Schmela giving a 6-1 lead for San Luis Obispo early.
Anthony Schmela has really impressed me. He's headed to the All-Star game in Compton, and you can see why. 2 hits on the ball game. His first at bat, he goes to right field for a hit. Now he goes the other way, ripping a ball down the left field line past the diving attempt of Matt Marlowe. And as I talked about, Nathan Schmela has blown me away with his ability.
So that run becomes an earned run on Chris Stamos. He's given up 2 hits, and that 1 earned run also struck out 2. As bouncing this one to the left side is Tolia, and that'll get through for a base hit. Nate Schmela will be held at third by third base coach Jason Bell, and the Blues have him cornered now with only 1 out. It's an offensive onslaught to start this Saturday night game for San Luis Obispo.
Anthony, you can see Chris Stamos audibly frustrated with what's transpiring on the diamond, and not all of it is his fault. Sometimes in baseball you just get bad breaks, and Stamos is pointing away at Coach Goose saying, "There's nothing to talk about, Coach. I'm just getting unlucky," and sometimes that happens. Couple ground balls that find holes, defense not making plays for you. That's a part of baseball, and what Coach Milam preaches is the ability to deal with adversity, because adversity will strike. I don't care who you are, I don't care how good you are, it will hit at a certain point, and Milam's whole message is how you handle that adversity will determine your future as a player.
6 runs already in for San Luis Obispo, so some more adversity for the Arroyo Seco Saints to work through as Goose, Cooper Harris, and the rest of the Arroyo Seco Saints infield are huddled around a visibly frustrated Chris Stamos, getting a bit unlucky, as you mentioned, Aaron. A lot of slow ground balls that are just finding holes and giving Slow some runs.
And the defense doing Stamos no favors.
That's right, that one costly error that was given to Arden Biagian, but it was mostly a mental error by Jacob Sanchez, who wasn't covering first, thought a ground ball up the middle was a single and found the outfield, was trying to cut off in between home and first as Cody Darcy will step in, toss it over to second for 1, on to first, and Sanchez is unable to pick it, and the Blues score their 7th run of the afternoon. It's now 7-1 already in the second.
A tough play there for Sanchez, unable to dig it out on the errant throw by Biagian, and 7-1. Nice play, though, by Drew Cowley. We haven't seen him much at shortstop this year, but he looked very natural on that double play feed.
7 runs, 6 hits so far for the Blues. They scored 4 in the first, and now they have 3 here in the second. Stamos tosses over to first. The batter now is E.J. Krutzman. Krutzman bounced out to second in his first at-bat. In his second here, he'll get behind 0-1 after tossing that one foul off to the left. The 0-1. This time it's chopped to the right side, foul. Stamos is ahead, 0-2. 39 pitches for Chris Stamos through an inning and 2/3. He's now given up a couple earned runs and 4 hits. Stamos set with the 0-2. Reached out towards the third base side. Matt Marlowe has it from the infield grass. Sanchez is able to pick the low throw to end the frame, but not before the San Luis Obispo Blues strike for 3 more. And the Arroyo Seco Saints offense really needs to get started because it's 7-1 going into the third. Top of the third inning, and this Arroyo Seco team has found itself down 7-1 after 4 runs were put up by the Blues in the first, 3 more in the second. And now right back out there for his third inning of work is Cameron Mabry against Eden Biagian, Jordan Rogers, and Drew Cowley.
Biagian's first at bat with the Arroyo Seco Saints.
From Glendale Community College, recruited over here by Serge Placencia, who's the Vaqueros hitting coach. He'll take a strike, 0-1. Biagian making his Saints debut, just showed up yesterday, was available off the bench, but Arroyo Seco opted not to use him, and here he is here. The 0-1. In the dirt, 1-1 from Cameron Mabry.
And Anthony, as I mentioned in the pregame, excellent stats for Biagian as a member of the Vaqueros. Hit .311 and on-base .423 in 2 seasons.
The 1-1, a slow chopper to the second baseman Darius Price. He'll charge it and flip it with his right hand for out number 1 in the top of the third inning, and the lineup will flip over for Arroyo Seco. Jordan Rogers will stride to the plate, bounced over to the first baseman Zach Tolia his first at-bat, who flipped it over for Cameron Mabry for the game's first out. And here is Rogers here in the third inning, making his second at-bat. J. Raj getting the start in center field today. Meaning he can literally play almost anywhere for this Arroyo Seco team, and he really has as he takes strike 1.
And not just play everywhere, but play everywhere at a high level.
The utility man from Wichita State. Teammates with Cooper Harris. Both will head back to Wichita, Kansas for the upcoming season. Here's the 0-1. Rogers takes in the dirt to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with Drew Cowley waiting on deck. Rogers, after a slow start to the summer, has brought his average up to .266 coming into this game. Getting a lot more run as a starter. As Coach Aaron Milam continues to mix and match with this offense, trying to find a spark. As Rogers flips that one into right center field, racing back is Pemberton. He camps under it to make the catch. Rogers gave it a ride to right center, but it was easy play for Luke Pemberton at the end of the day, and there's 2 outs.
Drew Cowley stepping to the plate. He had a great at-bat last time, lining a base hit into right center field. And Anthony, we've talked about it a lot. We've seen flashes. Cowley going to the All-Star game in Compton, California, but he really hasn't got hot for his standards. Talked about leading the CCL in hitting last year.
7 in a row set down for Cameron Mabry. Now Drew Cowley was stride of the plate, takes ball 1. His first at-bat, flipped a base hit in the right field, and ended up scoring the Saints' only run right now. It's 7-1 San Luis Obispo here in the top of the third. As Cowley fouls that one back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. An Arroyo Seco offense that's been sputtering during their 4-game losing streak, averaging just 6 runs per game, a night and day difference when they averaged more than 12 runs per game during their 5-game winning streak. The 1-1 to Cowley. Misses outside, and he's out of the count. So the Saints are going to have to beat that average of 6 if they want to have any chance at stealing this game in San Luis Obispo and avoiding a 5-game losing streak on the heels of a 5-game winning streak. As Cowley reaches across the plate, fouls that one back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-hander from Southern California.
And Anthony, it feels like Cowley is on every pitch. Even the ones he fouls back, looks like he's getting very quality hacks off.
Back-to-back All-Star appearances for Mr. Saint. Drew Cowley led the league in hits. Was the all-defensive player in the CCL Showcase game as he tosses this one out over to short, and it gets under the glove of a sliding C.J. Maciel and into left. Garrett Brooks will toss it in, so a 1-out single for Drew Cowley. He's 2 for 2, and the Saints trying to start a 2-out rally in the third.
And Anthony, when you're struggling, leave it to Mr. Saint to try to get you back on track. 2 hits for Drew Cowley.
And I say trying to start a rally. They desperately need to string together base runners and eventually runs. Long way to go here, but the Saints need to take a bite out of the 6-run deficit as soon as they can. Here's Matt Wong. He'll take outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Matt Wong, who flipped a double down the right field line in his last at-bat. That set up the Saints with runners on second and third, and Buhanda, the on-deck hitter, hit him in. This time Wong will toss this one out into right center field. Luke Pemberton will camp under it for his second putout of this inning. And Cameron Mabry, after giving up a run in the first, tosses 2 shutout frames in the second and third. Bottom of the third inning coming up, 7-1, slow leads. It's Saturday afternoon at Sinsheimer Field, and the San Luis Obispo Blues have brought their bats. 7-1 your score here in the bottom half of the third. Chris Stamos back out there for yet another frame. Anthony Vasquez, Aaron Goldstein sitting high atop the press box here in San Luis Obispo. As the 7, 8, 9 hitters are due up for the Blues, Gabrielson, Price, and Pemberton. Gabrielson will swing at the first pitch and toss it foul, 0-1. Gabrielson struck out swinging against Stamos in his last at-bat. The 0-1, Stamos elects to go with the slide step. And that's tossed foul once again, so no balls and 2 strikes to Gabrielson.
And Anthony Stamos is most effective out of that windup for that exact reason. He can mix up the timings on his deliveries.
Stamos with the 0-2. Tossed up into right field. This is dropping fast. Racing on over is Buhanda, and he'll make the catch in foul territory on the run for the first out of the third.
Nice play by Buhanda. The outfielder always has the best shot at a play like that on the fact that they're running in, everyone else is running back.
1 up, 1 down on 3 pitches for Chris Stamos here in the home half of the third inning. Now it brings up the second baseman, Darius Price. Flew out to left fielder Jackson Walker in his last AB. Infield back, outfield straight away against the righty, who takes ball 1 up and away.
And Stamos has done a great job throwing strikes, attacking the zone, and making these Blues hitters beat him.
Price hasn't gotten a hit since July 7th against the Riptide. Stamos able to even the count 1-1. Since then, he's over his last 8. With only 1 run scored and a couple walks. On-base percentage, still one of the leaders on the team at .387. Could Stamos get ahead? Instead, it's bounced on over to third. Matt Marlowe fumbles with the ball from the infield grass. He's got no play. More sloppy defense from the Arroyo Seco Saints. Matt Marlowe fumbles with the ball at third, and no throw was needed to get the speedy Price, so 1 out and a man on first. The second error of the day for Arroyo Seco.
And it puts your pitcher in a very tough spot because you tell him to go out there and throw strikes and pound the zone and have confidence in the defense. Well, if the defense is making errors, what do you expect the pitcher to do? Because they get in a mindset where they think they have to strike everyone out.
Second error in as many innings for the Saints as Luke Pemberton steps up to the plate, and a huge swing and miss for strike 1. Luke singled in his last at-bat, came all the way around to score a run. 1 of 7 slow was put on the board. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Blues. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Saints. The other one came in the second on Arten Biagian. 1-2.
But if you're joining us late, that play was not Biagian's fault.
Luke Pemberton behind on a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out. Darius Price off of first. Stamos giving him a long stare. Now comes to the plate and delivers a breaking ball that misses outside. Maciel waiting on deck. He's been on base a couple times today. Here's the 2-2. Price was already going with the pitch. That takes Biagian off the mound. This is going to be a tough play. Glove flip on to first, not in time. So San Luis Obispo pulling the strings, sending Darius Price. That pulled Biagian off the bag. And some more bad luck for Chris Stamos. Has 2 runners on the board on base for the Blues.
Perfectly executed hit and run. Runner was off with the pitch. That forced the second baseman, Biagian, to break to the bag. And that was squibbed to where he would normally be, but he got there too late.
It was a nice effort from Arten to at least attempt a glove flip to Jacob Sanchez, but Pemberton able to beat it out for his second hit of the day. This one an infield single. He's 2 for 2. Blues have a couple men aboard once again. They've had base runners on in every single inning, including the bases loaded with nobody out back in the first, a frame where they scored 4 runs, all of them charged to Carson McKinney, who only faced 5 hitters as a starter, and all 5 of them got on base. The 0-1. Bounced on over to first. Sanchez fumbles with the ball again. Tosses over to Chris Stamos, and it's not in time to get him. Another error for the Saints, the 3rd of the day. And Aaron, this defense is absolutely imploding on this Saturday afternoon. Bases loaded and 1 out for the Blues.
You said it perfectly, partner. No other way to put it. And you feel for the pitcher because ball has not left the infield this inning, and the Blues have the bases loaded with 1 man out. Chris Stamos has, as far as I'm concerned, gotten 4 outs in the inning, and there's only 1 out.
Visibly frustrated, so much so that Cooper Harris had to come out and talk to the lefty. And usually pitchers work themselves into jams, but this time the infielder's not helping the cause. Marlowe an error at third, and now Jacob Sanchez a routine ground at first base, and he just fumbled it. Can the Blues take advantage once again? Bases loaded, 1 out for Garrett Brooks.
And the corner's in for the Saints. Middle back looking to turn 2.
Garrett's 0 for 1 today, but got on base with a walk and scored a run in the first. As he'll take strike 1 from the lefty.
And Anthony, errors are a part of the game. They're going to happen, but you got to try to limit them and make sure they don't snowball.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed strike 2. Stamos really bearing down here, getting the head of the count. Brooks' 3rd at-bat in as many innings. Took a called strike 3 against Stamos in his 2nd at-bat. Behind in the count 0-2 here, and he flips one into left field. Jackson Walker giving chase, and it is foul out of play. We'll need a 4th pitch in this at-bat.
Anthony, based on the way the Saints defense has been playing, you got to think the coaching staff is hoping for a strikeout here.
Sanchez into the grass, Marlowe even with the bag. Middle infielder's looking for the double play, and Chris Stamos says, I got this from here. He strikes out Garrett Brooks on 4 pitches. Second time he's been put down by the lefty Stamos, and a huge 2nd out in the bottom of the 3rd.
Anthony, Chris says, defense, if you're not going to help me, I'll just do it myself.
So Stamos continuing his lead over Bryson Van Sickle for 2nd place in the CCL in strikeouts. As Nate Schmela, the all-star catcher for the Blues, will stride to the plate. Still the bases loaded and 2 outs, so Stamos not out of the woods quite yet. Schmela's been aboard a couple times today. Single in the first, double in the second. And like Brooks, making his 3rd plate appearance in as many innings.
Schmela's average has climbed up to .353 on the season with his 2 hits in this ballgame.
Stamos set at the belt. Bases loaded, 2 outs, the 1-0. Skied into left field. Jackson Walker ranging back. No problem for him. A can of corn play for the 3rd out of the 3rd inning. But Chris Stamos walks the tightrope yet again. Not being helped out by his defense. A couple errors in that bottom of the 3rd. But Stamos is able to bear down and work out of it. The San Luis Obispo Blues still comfortably out in front by 6 going to the 4th. Arroyo Seco needing base runners here, and they got the lineup up to do it. 4, 5, 6, the heart of the order. Jared Buhanda, Matt Marlowe, and Jacob Sanchez. And if anyone gets on, the left fielder, Jackson Walker. And so far, not so good for the Arroyo Seco Saints there. And the defense has absolutely imploded around Chris Stamos, and they just haven't got any base runners on since that 1st inning.
It has, but still very early in the ball game, and all they need is a couple base runners to get some momentum, score some runs, and make this a close ball game.
So here is Buhanda. First pitch swinging and missing. 0-1 against Cameron Mabey, who's back out there. Buhanda in his first at-bat with the Saints bounced out to the second baseman Darius Price, but there was more to that. Drew Cowley ended up scoring from third base. There was only 1 out when Buhanda bounced out, so an RBI in his first at-bat. Now he's just trying to get on base with the Saints down 7-1. One ball, 1 strike. Righty-lefty matchup. That one misses in the dirt, so Buhanda's out of the count. '48th pitch of the game for Mabry is pumped down the left field line, foul and out of play towards the beer tent in the parking lot. Down the left field line, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jared Buhanda.
Maybe has been pitching to contact, Anthony. Only 1 strikeout in this ball game, but 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, only 1 run.
That's what he does. 23 1/3 innings on the year, 19 strikeouts. As Buhanda will bounce that one off the plate and up the first base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Will do it yet again.
And Anthony, there's no such thing as one size fits all. So many different styles, so many different techniques that all yield excellent results. And for maybe, it's pitching to weak contact.
There's more than one way to skin the cat as a pitcher. Some guys are big strikeout guys. The other guys are pitch to contact, as making contact is Buhanda and chopping that one foul. Catcher Nate Schmela picked that one up in foul ground. And we're going to need a 6th pitch in this at-bat. Matt Marlowe still waiting on deck. So far, the Saints have mustered just 3 hits through 3+ innings. Not a bad mark, but when you compare it to the 7 Slows put up, they're going to need a lot more if they're going to want to come back. Callie has a couple hits, and Matt Wong's double in the first. The only base knocks for the Saints so far. The 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jared Buhanda will strike out on 6 pitches. And Cameron Mabry doesn't need soft contact for the first out of the top of the 4th.
Well, of course, when we talk about the fact that he's a pitch-to-contact guy, he registers a strikeout.
And now Matt Marlowe will stride to the plate. Popped out to shallow center field in his last at-bat. So shallow that C.J. Maciel made the catch. As Marlowe takes a ball upstairs, 1-0. Marlowe had his 5-game hitting streak snapped Sunday against the Oaks, a 7-5 win, went 0 for 5. Took an 0 for 5 into the next game against Conejo on Tuesday. And this time he pops this one up a mile high down the left field line and into the Saints bullpen. One hopping into the hand of Matt Wong, who was using the restroom over there down the left field line, 1-1. So since that hitting streak for Marlowe, he's only had a couple hits in his past 23 at-bats. The strikeouts have gone up as well. So Marlowe going cold like a lot of this Arroyo Seco batting order is. Here's the 1-1. Marlowe takes the bat off his shoulders. It's a called strike 2 anyways. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Regis man, Matt Marlowe. Maybe set. He's been working out of the stretch all day. As Matt Marlowe will fight off the fastball and ask for another pitch from the righty, maybe. The 1-2. Fastball misses upstairs and away. To even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jacob Sanchez waiting on deck. Outfield straight away. The infield is back against the right-handed hitting Matt Marlowe. Hitting just .217 on the year. The 2-2. Popped up down the first base line. Will Zach Tolia have enough room? Yes, he does. Right in front of the slow first base dugout. And just like that, Mabry has the first 2 outs at the top of the 4th with relative ease. Now striding to the plate is Jacob Sanchez with 2 outs and nobody on. Jacob riding a mini 2-game hitting streak, 3 for his last 9. And compared to his torrid stretch during the 5-game winning streak, that 3 for 9 seems like a slump.
He was red hot at one point, especially against the Barons, Anthony. Did damage in Compton, California. Hit a home run, reached base a couple times. He was one of the Saints' best hitters.
And he carried that momentum yesterday against the Barons with a huge double. He'll swing and miss here to quickly get into nothing and 2-strike hole. The strikeouts have gone up for Sanchez ever since that 5-game winning streak. Matt Marlowe, the tying run, was on third against the Barons last night with nobody out and a full count. Sanchez swung and missed for strike 3. The Saints are unable to bring that run in. It looks like that sloppy offensive play has carried into the Saturday afternoon in San Luis Obispo. Sanchez fights that one off. He's still in an 0-2 hole.
Anthony, a very long bus ride from Pasadena to San Luis Obispo, north of 4 hours, and clearly that's having some effect on the Saints team. Looking a little lethargic to start the game.
The 0-2 bounced down the first base line and just fell. Aaron, you're putting your hands up. I thought it got chalk too.
Anthony, we saw the chalk rise from the dirt. Clear that that ball was fair. Don't know what the first base umpire was looking at.
Sanchez still in a no-ball 2-strike hole, trying to make up for his error at first base in the bottom half of the 3rd, rather. No runs ended up coming around to score, but all it did was inflate Stamos' pitch count. The 0-2 chopped on over to second. Darius Price fields it on a hop. And an easy 1-2-3 inning yet again for Cameron Mabry. 4 innings, and he's only given up 1 run. San Luis Obispo cruising early as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to Sinsheimer Field, bottom of the 4th inning, and Chris Stamos right back out there for yet another inning of work. Anthony Vasquez, Aaron Goldstein here with you to bring this Saturday afternoon ball game. And Aaron, even though Chris Stamos has been playing basically in front of some lackluster defense and has fallen some bad luck, he's really been battling out there.
Certainly has been battling, dealing with adversity really well, and not only that, getting ahead of these hitters. A lot of the counts are 0-2, 1-2, and that plays in a pitcher's favor.
He's just been unable to finish them throughout his 3+ innings of work as he delivers a first pitch ball that misses to Zach Tolia. Tolia's been aboard twice today, making his 3rd at-bat. Walked in the 1st and singled back in the 2nd against Stamos. So he launches that one foul, 1-1.
Anthony, you have to give Stamos so much credit. He came in this ball game. The score was already 3-0. The Saints had not recorded 1 out in the game as Carson McKinney was pulled, and Stamos comes in and he's pitched 3+ innings thus far.
And he's really fallen on some bad luck, too. He's given up 5 hits, but a lot of them have been little numbers on the infield or soft ground balls that are able to find holes in between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd. It's really been a battle for Chris Stamos, but that's really the name of the game for a lot of these pitchers in baseball. Sometimes you're just going to have your best stuff, but not the best results. Going with the hesitation move on the 1-2, and he misses low in the dirt. Right back to the backstop, 2-2.
Anthony, a lot of pitches for Stamos. This next one will be number 74 for Chris.
74 through only 3+ innings of work. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stamos having to work very hard on this Saturday afternoon in San Luis Obispo. Tolia, Darcy, and Krutzman, 4, 5, 6 in the San Luis Obispo order due up with a 7-1 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Stamos delivers. The 2-2 is in the dirt. Appeal on over to first. In the first base umpire says he went around. It's a little bit of a slow appeal by the home plate umpire, but at the end of the day, Chris Stamos gets the K. And a perfect way to start off the bottom of the 4th. A strikeout swinging.
And Darcy has the same walk-up song as Jordan Rogers.
It sounded familiar. Four strikeouts now for Chris Stamos. And now it's the right-handed hitter Cody Darcy. Bounced to an fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. A frame of the Blues put up 3 runs. And in the first, 4 runs. All of them charged to Carson McKinney, who faced 5 hitters, and all of them got on base. A couple of them via the hit, 3 of them thanks to free passes. The 0-1 is swung on and missed, so Stamos quickly getting ahead, 0-2. Darcy will make the 3.5-hour trip down south to Compton on Wednesday for the CCL All-Star Games, set to be played on Bally Sports. The 0-2 misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harris tried to paint the outside corner, couldn't get the call from the home plate umpire.
But a good 0-2 pitch.
The 1-2 to the 5-hitter Darcy is a curveball that wraps around the plate and misses high. Once again, Stamos getting ahead of a count, 0-2, but he's been unable to land the breaking ball this afternoon. That allows the hitters to mostly just sit fastballs against the lefty. All-star against all-star in the CCL. Who's going to win this one? The 2-2, it's Cody Darcy winning this battle here, whacking a single into left field. Another base runner on for the Blues. They've had at least one on in every inning so far. This time a single from Cody Darcy.
Well, you see why Darcy is going to be an all-star, facing a very tough pitcher in Chris Stamos. He hits a bullet in the 5-6 hole for a base hit.
So a one-out base runner for the Blues, and E.J. Krutzman will stride to the plate. Krutzman 0 for 2 on the day. Hasn't gone on base quite yet, as he takes low and away, ball 1.
One of the lone guys in this Blues order to not have reached base yet.
Blues have put up 8 hits in this game so far. They've also walked 3 times, all of them being charged to Carson McKinney. Stamos has yet to give up a free pass as he tosses over to first, and back in there safely is Darcy.
Anthony, you see some defensive changes for Arroyo Seco. Looks like Jordan Rogers is at first base now, and Max Blessinger's in center.
The 1-0, laced into center field. Blessinger will be called on here. He'll make the catch. That ball was ripped off the bat of E.J. Krutzman. He's 0 for 3 today. Barreled that one for the second out. But Aaron, you mentioned those defensive alignment changes. Sanchez, a lousy error in that 3rd inning. Coach Aaron Milam pulling the plug early, taking him out.
Well, not just that error in the 3rd inning, but the mental lapse in the 2nd inning. 2 costly plays for Arroyo Seco, and Coach Milam had seen enough.
So, yep, that's right. Blessinger's now going to play center field. Rogers back at his home at first, as Cole Gabrielson will stride into the right-hander's batter's box and take strike 1. Gabrielson 0 for 2 on the day. Struck out swinging in the 1st against Stamos. Flew out to right in his 2nd at-bat. Stamos pumping fastballs left and right here. This one misses to even the count 1-1.
Anthony, a very unusual defensive alignment for the Saints, not just with the changes mid-game, but the new faces we see defensively. Also, Drew Cowley at shortstop, a position he doesn't normally play.
Well, that's where Cowley started off the day. Mostly been playing 2nd, 3rd, and DH. And getting his first appearance at shortstop this summer for Kyson Donahue, who's just getting the day off. Stamos set. And instead of tossing the 2-1 home, he'll toss it back over to first, and back safely is the runner.
Anthony, the flies are out in full force in San Luis Obispo, and you'd have to think that carries over to the field as well.
2-1, foul back to the screen.
They can be such a nuisance, especially for pitchers.
Do you always have to deal with gnats when you were playing baseball?
Oh, yeah.
Our field had a good amount of gnats. Swiping them away. It's always tough for a pitcher, but Stamos is working through it. Full count now to Cole Gabrielson.
The one thing is, it doesn't favor one team over the other. Both pitchers, both teams have to deal with the issue.
We saw yesterday Kamayu neighbors have to take time at Jackie Robinson Field to swipe some gnats away.
They usually come out at night, but here in San Luis Obispo, they're out in the afternoon before the sun goes down.
Full count, 2 outs. Payoff pitch from Stamos to Gabrielson. There goes the runner, and Stamos pins him on the back. And Cole Gabrielson's going to be on for his first time today. First hit by a pitch from either team so far, and the Blues have first and second with 2 outs. Darius Price, the batter.
Clearly no intent from Chris there. 2-2 pitch. You're already losing by 6 runs.
Stamos tried to go inside with the fastball, just missed a bit inside and nailed Cole Gabrielson on the back. First base coach checking on him, but he's okay. He's going to run the bases. That'll bring in Darius Price. Flew out to left in the first and reached on Matt Marlowe's error at third base. Now in his third plate appearance of the day, he'll flip that one foul into the seats, 0-1. Blues at first and second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. There goes the runner, and Cooper Harris loses track of the ball. It gets back to the screen. Here comes the runner. Toss over to the plate is in time to get Darcy to end the inning. It's not how Chris Stamos and battery made Cooper Harris drew it up, but either way, it's the third out of the bottom of the fourth. The Saints walk the tightrope yet again, down 7-1, needing some base runners as we go to the fifth. Cameron Maybe, the Illinois State Redbird, is back out for his 5th inning of work. And Aaron, he's already tied his second longest outing of the season. What have you seen from the righty so far?
He's pitching to very weak contact from this Arroyo Seco Saints team, and he's limiting the damage. When he gets in tough situations, he's been able to navigate out of trouble. But again, not a big strikeout pitcher, doesn't have electric stuff, but he works with what he has, and he's very successful.
Speaking of damage, Jackson Walker, a left-hander from Louisiana Tech, has been doing a lot of that in his past 2 games as he takes a strike, 0-1 from Cameron Maybe. Showing flashes of his father, Todd Walker, who played 11 years in the major leagues, as Walker bounces that one over to the right side. Darius Price on over to Zach Tolley will make the catch, 1 out.
Anthony, for more on Maybe and his efficiency, 50 strikes in this ballgame to only 14 balls.
That's some efficiency right there. Ultra efficiency.
Still a very low pitch count.
And more importantly, he's inducing that weak contact you're talking about. So 1 out, Maybe looking to continue a stellar outing he's putting together through 4 1/3. As Cooper Harris will stride to the plate. Harris 0 for 1 today, struck out looking in his last at bat. He takes upstairs 1-0. Harris with 5 strikeouts in his last 3 games. So the K's are going up quickly as the walk rate is plummeting as Harris now even with the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Also hasn't gotten a hit since July 10th, a Sunday game against the Oaks where he went 1 for 2. Got on base a couple times thanks to the free pass and scored 3 runs. Since then, only 1 in his past 3. As he takes outside 2 balls and 1 strike.
And Anthony, the phrase free pass can be very deceiving. Cooper Harris really earns his walks, often fouling off pitches and having excellent takes.
2-1, 3-1 now. To the catcher, Cooper Harris, trying to get on base for his first time this afternoon. Last time the Saints had a base runner was a 2-out single by Drew Cowley in the top of the 3rd. The 3-1. Harris will line that one into left field. Garrett Brooks in foul territory will make the catch. And it's quickly 2 up, 2 down. Saints going quietly in the 5th once again so far.
You got to credit maybe a 3-ball count, and he gets Harris to fly out to left field. Continues his incredibly efficient and successful outing.
And it looks like Cooper Harris is really just missing those balls. We saw against the Barons, flew out to the warning track in a straightaway center field. This one, it looked like he pounded, but just not enough power to make any damage happen. As a 9-hitter, Aiden Biagian will step in and take strike 1. Biagian, of course, making his Arroyo Seco Saints debut. Coach Aaron Milam looking for some reinforcements after some roster shuffling. No balls and 2 strikes now. Maybe has retired his last 6 hitters in order. Trying to make it 7 here with Biagian. From Glendale Community College, where Serge Placencia is the hitting coach. Stands up the third base line as the third base coach for the Saints. And Aiden Biagian will strike out swinging on 3 pitches. Mabry gets his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. He has 5 innings, 4 consecutive frames of shutout ball. And the Blues still up handily, 7-1 as we're halfway home at Sinsheimer Field. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Blues, 1 run, 3 hits, and a trio of mishaps from the Saints defense. And Aaron, try and calm down these hot-hitting San Luis Obispo Blues as Jacob Henderson, the side-arming righty.
Henderson has electric stuff. In 11 2/3 innings pitched, he has 13 strikeouts, has struggled a little bit giving up walks and hits. That makes his ERA inflated at 5.40. However, in his last outing against the Oaks, 2 innings pitched, no runs, only 1 hit allowed.
And hits have been the issue for Jacob Henderson, as the first pitch to the 8-hitter Darius Price misses outside ball 1. It'll be 8-9-1. Price, Pemberton, and Maciel. Of course, Price back out there after the Blues ran themselves in the 3rd out in the bottom of the 4th. This time, Price, an easy fly ball to left field. Jackson Walker barely has to move. Facing the sun, able to make the catch, 1 out. So bottom of the 5th inning, now the 9-hitter Luke Pemberton will stride to the plate yet again. Pemberton and the 9-hitter has been getting on base and doing his job. 2 for 2 on the day with a run scored. A couple singles in the 2nd and 3rd inning, respectively. Getting on base with the big boppers at the top of the lineup for the Blues.
Anthony, if you execute your pitches, you can strike him out. He's got 37 strikeouts and 69 at-bats this season.
Well, Chris Stamos had him ahead 2 strikes, and Pemberton was just able to flip his bat out there and dump it into right center field for a single. Henderson starts him out, strike 1. And now we'll start him out, strike 2, as he broke the plane on the check swing, says the first base umpire. Standing up the line, no balls and 2 strikes. All ready to Luke Pemberton. Highest strikeout rate on the team. 5 more than the next closest. Make it 6 here as Jacob Henderson dots the outside corner and gets him looking. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Exit stage right for Pemberton on 3 pitches. 2 up, 2 down for the man from Arizona, Jacob Henderson.
Great pitching. I talked about the fact that if you executed your pitches, you can strike Pemberton out, and Henderson does that. Perfectly placed heater on the outer half.
Well, that brings up C.J. Maciel. Has been on board a couple times today. Hit and a walk. He'll take strike 1 from Henderson, who's continuing to pound that zone. Aaron, do you think it's a lot easier to maybe pitch when you're down 7-1? You don't have the pressure of a close game on you?
I certainly think it is. As you talked about, partner, there's no pressure, and you're just free to throw. It's almost like a live bullpen. Versus if it's a close game or if you're losing by 1 or even up 2, it just makes it so much more difficult. Every pitch is magnetized.
That's right. If you get a single on you, it really starts to put the pressure, starts to raise the stress of an inning. But down 7-1, singles really don't matter that much. As tossing that one foul is Maciel, so Henderson's quickly ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Just 9 pitches this inning, 7 balls and 2 misses.
Anthony, that's what Coach Aaron Milam talks about, is not scoreboard watching, playing every pitch, no matter the situation, like it's crucial.
11th pitch of the inning for Henderson. It runs inside, and it hits Maciel upstairs. He'll take a trot over to first base. That pitch ran dangerously close inside of the upper body and towards the head. But Maciel's okay. He'll be aboard on first with 2 outs. And that extends the SO Blues base runner streak. They've had a base runner on in every inning.
That makes it very tough momentum-wise for the Saints when guys are getting on every inning. Pitchers are having to go from the stretch. Defense is out there for a long time, baking in that sun.
Baking in the sun. Their legs get tired. I mean, we were on the bus for maybe 4.5 hours. Traffic on the Santa Barbara area this weekend. As bouncing this one to second is Garrett Brooks, bodied up by Biagian, and he'll toss over to first for the out. So Henderson, a very clean 5th inning of work here. All he does is hit a batter, but nobody else gets on base. Final 4 innings already here at Sinsheimer Field. We go to the 6th, 7-1 slow. Top of the 6th inning, and the Slow Blues still up comfortably 7-1 in this one here at Sinsheimer Field on this Saturday afternoon. And Aaron, if there's any part of the order that can really get something started against maybe and maybe crack the code third time through the order, it's the top of the lineup, Rogers, Cowley, and Wong.
That's right, and certainly capable hitters at the top of the order. And you mentioned it, partner, facing maybe for the 3rd time now. And usually after you see a pitcher a couple times, it really helps. You get a feel for his stuff and his tendencies.
So it'll be Jordan Rogers, then a couple All-Stars. Drew Cowley, the shortstop, and Matt Wong, the DH today. Rogers 0 for 2 today, lowering his average to 259. Still a healthy rate considering he started out the summer quite slowly. Now that he's getting a lot more playing time and really entrenching himself in that lineup, he's been as hot as anybody on this Arroyo Seco squad as he bounces that one up the line. Excuse me, Hack, 0-1.
And he's found a home in that leadoff spot in the last few games.
And he's also found a home in that Wichita State lineup. Just like here with Arroyo Seco, didn't quite start off as a regular starter for the Shockers. Then started to turn his at-bats around, showed his coach Eric Wedge something he can likely build on with Wichita State in the middle of the season. He started for the very first time as he bounces that one foul 0-2, and ever since then, he's been a staple for the Wichita State batting order, something that Cooper Harris, a fellow Shocker, should be coming up in the 2023 college baseball season. Rogers trying to work now in a no-ball, 2-strike hole against Cameron Mabey, who's been setting down Saints hitters left and right. Has only allowed 3 base runners through 5 innings. Hasn't walked anybody yet. It's the 0-2, misses high. So far, the only run scratched across by the Saints offense against Mabey. And the first inning was an RBI groundout by the 4-hitter Jared Buhonda. The 1-2, Rogers pops this one up into right field. Luke Pemberton barely has to move to his right to make the first out of the 6th.
We've talked about it so much with Mabey inducing weak contact. You see it again there, a lazy fly ball to right field for the first out.
You know what he's also doing? He's also pumping in those strikes. 63 of them now, compared to 18 balls for Cameron Mabey. Easily one of his best starts of the summer. As Drew Cowley steps in, 2 for 2 today against the righty, and immediately lines that one foul back to the screen, 0-1.
Cowley has been one of the few bright spots for the Arroyo Seco lineup. Mr. Saint, as he's known, his 4th year with Arroyo Seco, and he's seeing the ball very well against Mabey.
The 0-1. Seeing it well yet again out of the hand. Watching that one just miss the black. 1 ball, 1 strike. So far, Cowley and the on-deck hitter Matt Wong combined 3 for 4 on the day as Cowley hacks on and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The rest of the order hitless. Oh for 15 outside of Cowley and Wong today. The 1-2 misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Infield is back, and by back I mean way back. Middle infielders on the outfield grass. The 2-2 bounced up the middle. That'll be in for a base hit. So Drew Cowley continuing his torrid streak in this game. 3 for 3 on the day against Cameron Mabey.
Anthony, you can't praise Drew Cowley enough. 3rd hit of the ball game. This is his 3rd 3-hit game of the season, and we talked about it. He had solid numbers, but we felt like he hadn't really got hot yet. Well, he's heating up now. 3 hits on the day and 3 at-bats.
And when he's hot, he makes it look easy, doesn't it, partner?
Here's another guy that we'd love to see heat up.
Another all-star in Matt Wong. Knows Sinsheimer Field quite well. And in his first game here, launched a home run over the netting in left field and into the bus parking lot on the left side of your screen. First pitch swinging is Wong, just like Cowley, and he fouls it off the catcher Schmela and back to the screen. Cowley not the biggest threat when he runs the bases. 5 for 6 stealing bags. for a Saints team and has stolen now 92 on the season. There goes Callie. Not stepping off is Maybe, and that was hopped over to third. Nice pick by Darcy on to first for the out. Cowley will be on second base, staying out of the double play, but a hot shot to Cody Darcy, picked nicely by the third baseman for out number 2.
Anthony, you see why Darcy is an all-star. That ball had base hit written all over it. Darcy had other ideas. Incredible stab at third base. And then he tosses over to first to complete the out. You feel for Matt Wong a little bit. Hit that ball on the button and is not rewarded with a base hit.
And it feels like really nothing is going Arroyo Seco's day-to-day. Hot shot to Cody Darcy. A one-hopper picked by the all-star third baseman. Still, Saints have a runner in scoring position for the cleanup man, Jared Buhonda, who swings and misses at the high cheese, 0-1.
Anthony, for a little more on that last play, it looked like a hit and run there as Cowley was off at the pitch and Wong was swinging. Just unlucky. Cowley had that bag swiped if Wong takes.
Buhonda's 0 for 2, bounced out to second and struck out swinging. And now he'll bounce one over to first, down the line, and just foul, says the first base umpire. It was close, but instead it's strike number 2 on the cleanup man. So Buhonda trying to get his first base hit in Arroyo Seco blue. Making his debut today along with second baseman Aiden Biagian. No balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Looks like a baseball got out of the slow bullpen down the right field line. Well, the catcher's going to have to go out and pick that up. That's why we got a stoppage in play.
And Anthony, not a cloud in the sky today. Good crowd on hand in San Luis Obispo. It's a great day for baseball. One
of the best crowds in the CCL. We've been here 3 times before. The crowd has never failed to disappoint as Jared Buhonda once again chasing the high fastball down on strikes for a second time today. And Cameron Maybe, folks, is absolutely dealing. Only giving up 1 run in 6 innings. Slow, still out in front by 6, 7-1. Bottom of the 6th inning. This game whizzing right along here at San Luis Obispo, California. Slow Cal. 7-1 lead for the Slow Blues. And Jacob Henderson right back out there for his 2nd inning of work. And he'll face the 3-4-5 hitters of the Blues, Nate Shmela, Zach Tolia, and Cody Darcy. First pitch swinging is the all-star Shmela. Bounces it over to the second baseman, Biagian. Tosses over to the newly minted first baseman, Jordan Rogers. 1 out on 1 pitch for Henderson in the 6th.
Good for Henderson there. Efficiency.
So now Zach Tolia will stride to the plate. Cleanup hitting first baseman, 1 for 2 on the day. A run scored, an RBI, a walk, and a strikeout, really filling up the box score. Righty-righty matchup. Henderson delivers just inside ball 1. The 1-0 misses in the same spot. Then Henderson quickly falls behind. 2 balls and no strikes. Slow Blues got 4 runs in that first inning. All 4 of them charged to Carson McKinney. And in the second, they touched up Chris Stamos. A little bit of bad luck and some sloppy defense. And the Slow Blues took advantage with 3. As that one's a high Baltimore chop to Matt Marlowe at third. Throwing off his back foot. It was a nice toss, but it wasn't in time. Heck of an effort from Matt Marlowe at third base, tossing it from the outfield grass to Jordan Rogers at first. But Zach Tolia just had enough speed to beat it out.
Tough play there, Anthony. As you mentioned, you're backpedaling, so you're throwing off your back foot. Your momentum is going into the outfield, and you have to throw against that momentum towards first base. Very tough play.
So a 1-out single now for Tolia. Second hit of the day. The first baseman now 2 for 3. And that was Cody Darcy riding a perfect 2 for 2 day with 3 RBIs. 2 of them coming in that first inning against Carson McKinney rather. Lacing a double down the left field line that Jackson Walker couldn't get. It was in the corner. Couple of runners score. The bases loaded and nobody out when Darcy came to the plate and launched the double. No balls and 1 strike to him.
And Anthony, despite his very solid statistics, does have a tendency to strike out. 32 Ks in 90 at-bats.
Right around a third of the time, Darcy goes down with the K, and he's 1 strike away from increasing that percentage here. No balls, 2 strikes against Jacob Henderson. So far, attacking the zone, 15 strikes compared to just 5 misses.
Saints looking for a strikeout or a double play here with the middle infield pinched.
In double play depth is that middle infield, and Henderson will need another pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. E.J. Krutzman, the DH, hitting in the 6th spot. Waiting in the on-deck circle up the first baseline. Will he need to come up here at the 0-2? Just missing high.
Good takes from Darcy. Only 9 walks on the season, but displaying a good eye in this at-bat.
The 1-2. Darcy takes the bat off his shoulders. Doesn't go, says the home plate umpire. No appeal down to first. Darcy's able to even the count after being behind 0-2. The 2-2 from Henderson. There goes the runner. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw on to second is in time to get him. How about that to end the 6th inning? A strike him out, throw him out. Henderson to Harris to Arden Biagian. And the Saints double him up to end the 6th inning. Still down by 6, though, with just 9 more outs to play with. Welcome back to San Luis Obispo, everybody. Slow Cal here at Sinsheimer Field. Anthony Vasquez alongside Aaron Goldstein. And Aaron, this game has been flying by fast thanks to stellar pitching and a lot of weak contact induced by Cameron Mabey.
That's right, and the biggest stat to look at for Mabey through that 6 innings, 0 walks, Anthony. And if I'm not mistaken, only one 3-ball count. That was the count to Cooper Harris where he flied out to left. So Mabey's been in complete control of this ball game.
And control is the name of his game, as showing bunt is Max Blessinger, and pulling it back and taking a strike is the man from PCC. But I mentioned a lot of control that maybe brings 19 strikeouts to just 2 walks in 23 and a third innings coming into this one. Last time he gave up a free pass, June 24th against the Oaks. As Max Blessinger puts a charge into this one in a deep left center. Cole Gabrielson going back on the run. He'll make the catch for a loud out number 1. Excuse me, that's Matt Marlowe putting a charge into that one, flying out to left center.
Nice swing there by Marlowe. Hit it to the deepest part of the park in left center. That's a good sign for him, even though he's not rewarded with a hit. Definitely a good swing.
So Marlowe the first out. Now Max Blessinger will stride to the plate. Max Blessinger came on as a defensive replacement for Jacob Sanchez. Bless now playing center field. That moved Jordan Rogers over to first. Bless shows bunt yet again. He takes outside ball 1. Aaron, looks like the Saints so desperate on offense, they're just showing bunt to at least try and get on base against Mabey.
And why not? Bless had a bunt base hit yesterday, perfectly placed down the third base line, and he's been struggling a little bit offensively, so why not try to lay one down?
And with the third baseman back, these past 2 pitches, why not? He has the speed to beat it out. One of the leaders on the team in stolen bases. He's out of the count, 2 balls and no strikes.
And a rarity for Mabey being down 2 balls and no strikes. I'd be shocked if it got to 3-0.
Blessinger skies this one to center field. An easy play for Cole Gabrielson. And he's made the first 2 outs of the top of the 7th inning. And just like that, Cameron Mabey has tied his longest outing of the summer, 6 2/3, and he's only given up just 1 run. He also went 6 2/3 in his last start, July 9th, exactly a week ago. Gave up 2 runs and 5 hits, struck out 8. And in this game so far, he's just given up that 1 run, only 4 strikeouts, inducing a lot of weak contact. For his defense, that's been really stout behind him all day as Jackson Walker swings and misses for strike 1.
And Walker has been very hot, 0 for 2 today, but hit 3 hits yesterday, including a triple down the right field line. Had a couple hits in the game before that against the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Walker 0 for 2 today, a couple of ground outs. This time he pops this one in foul territory. Cody Darcy racing back, and it goes into the Saints bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. Like we shared back in the 5th inning, Jackson Walker, son of 11-year major leaguer Todd Walker. I mention that because he's hitting a lot like his father lately. 1,300 career hits for him. Career .289 hitter in 11 years in the big leagues. 107 career home runs. Just a stellar career for Todd Walker. Jackson trying to follow in his footsteps over at Louisiana Tech. Just wrapped up his freshman year. Walker takes inside 1 ball and 2 strikes. Parents always supporting him through and through. Came out to see him on the 4th of July. Regular watchers of this stream. Can he battle back here for behind 1 ball and 2 strikes? The pitch. Just outside. Home plate umpire not calling it. Catcher Nate Schmelo wanted it. Instead, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs at jaywalk.
And Anthony, with Mabey on the bump, catcher doesn't have to move his glove much. He's always around that target.
Here's the 2-2. Laced foul, and we're going to need a 6th pitch in this at-bat. Cameron may be an out away from having his longest outing of the summer. Hasn't gone 7 innings quite yet. He's gone 6 2/3 once in his last start. Now over 100 pitches. Pitch number 108 coming up. And it's a ground ball to second. Darius Price on a dive, can't make the play, and it squirts under his glove and into right field. So a 2-out single for Jackson Walker. The 5th hit of the day for Arroyo Seco, and a 2-out base runner now for Cooper Harris.
Nice piece of hitting by Walker, finding a hole in that 3-4 area. And Anthony, only the third hit for the Saints by people not named Drew Cowley.
Cowley and Matt Wong combined, 4 for 7. The rest of the lineup, just one hit. That single by Jackson Walker. He extends his hitting streak to 3 games after making 3 consecutive starts. And now Cooper Harris will stride at the plate. His first pitch is popped up behind the first base dugout and into the seats, filled with slow fans. 0-1. Harris, a strikeout victim in the second inning. And he flew out to left in foul territory. Back in the 5th, and here he is in the 7th. No balls and 1 strike.
Anthony, 109 pitches for maybe, and he's still in the ballgame.
You don't see that a lot, especially in Summer League. Guys trying to save their arms as Harris lofts this one into left field. Garrett Brooks racing on over, dives. He had to contend with the wall. His only play was a feet first dive up the left field line, but it squirts out of play. No balls and 2 strikes.
And Anthony, we talk about efficiency. Maybe has certainly done that. 86 strikes to 24 balls.
Just incredible numbers for Cameron Maybe today, who's dicing up these Arroyo Seco hitters left and right all afternoon long. Hasn't struck out a lot of guys, only 4 Ks, but a lot of weak contact and not a lot of free passes. The 0-2. Misses inside. It gets away from Schmela, and taking second on the wild pitch is Jackson Walker. So make it back-to-back innings where the Saints have a runner in scoring position. Cowley was on second in the 6th inning, but Jared Buhonda struck out swinging. Let's see what Cooper Harris can do behind 1 ball and 2 strikes with a couple men out.
And Anthony, Maybe's strike ratio, 77.4%. I'm no mathematician, but
I could
3 out of 4 is pretty darn good.
That is amazing stuff for Cameron Maybe. 1 strike away from having 7 innings, and he will get that K right there. Cameron Maybe walking off the mound. 110 pitches on his right arm. 7 innings of 1-run ball. A heck of a start for Cameron Maybe, shutting down the Arroyo Seco offense. It's now 7-1. It's time to stretch from Sinsheimer Field. It's time for the bottom of the 7th inning, and look who's back out there for his 3rd inning of work, Jacob Henderson. And Aaron, I know there have been a lot of bright spots today for Arroyo Seco, but Jacob Henderson has been one of the bright spots on the mound. 2 innings, no runs.
Henderson has been awesome, excellent command, and he's showcasing that electric stuff, that put-away stuff from that weird sidearm angle. Henderson is dealing right now.
So leading off the bottom of the 7th inning after he set down the home half of the 6th in order, Schmela, Tolia, and Darcy. Now it's going to be Krutzman, Gabrielson, and Price, 6, 7, 8 in the slow order. As taking in the dirt, ball 1 is Krutzman. Today's DH, he's 0 for 3 on the day, but does have an RBI. Bounced out a couple times and flew out to center field in his last AB. 1-0. Ground ball down the first baseline, wide of the bag, foul.
And the Blues have done their damage at the top of the order. If you look at the runs and RBIs, leadoff man with 2 runs, 2-hitter with 1, 3-hitter with 2 runs, cleanup man with a run. So they've done most of their damage at the top.
That's right, 6 for 11. While the slow Blues is 3-4-5 hitters, Shmela, Tolia, and Darcy. Luke Pemberton providing a spark in the 9 spot as well. He's 2 for 3 with a run.
Double leadoff.
The 1-2 is fouled away. We might see Pemberton should at least one hitter get on base. Pemberton's due up 4th. Bullpen active for the Blues. A lefty warming up down the right field line. Day likely done for Cameron Mabey as he's thrown 110 pitches after 7 innings as Jacob Henderson just blows the fastball right by him. And E.J. Krutzman is a strikeout victim on the afternoon. His first strikeout of the day for Krutzman, second for Henderson.
Anthony, that fastball has life, has a lot of ride to it, especially late as it gets on that hitter, and that time was perfectly elevated for the strikeout.
Now this is looking like Henderson's better outings this summer. 2 1/3 scoreless from the righty from Arizona. Was a full-time reliever over in Iowa. It's an Iowa Hawkeye. As that one is popped up by Cole Gabrielson. Shading to his left is Max Blessinger, a one-handed catch in right center field for the second out. Henderson continues to deal, very efficient as well. 31 pitches through 2 2/3 now.
You said it yourself, partner, getting quick outs, being very efficient. Not only is he picking up those strikeouts, but he's getting those 1-2 pitch outs. Those are a pitcher's best friend.
And Henderson didn't pitch a lot late in the season. He was a redshirt sophomore for Iowa. Only faced 2 batters in the Big Ten tournament. Gave up a walk and a single. In a tournament that Michigan Wolverines ended up winning, earning the automatic bid from the Big Ten as Darius Price fouls that one away, 0-1. Henderson was a workhorse, though, in the regular season. 21 appearances, second on the Hawkeyes team, just behind their closer. Mostly a one-out guy, pitched 12 2/3 innings, but a healthy ERA of 3.55 as Price sends that one down the right field line, and he's quickly behind, 0-2. This game started out with Carson McKinney facing 5 hitters. He was taken out after the 5th batter he faced because all 5 of them got on. Chris Stamos only gave up 2 earned runs in 4 innings, and now here's Jacob Henderson hitting Darius Price inside with the breaking ball. A slider that didn't slide, instead it ran right into Darius Price's backside. He'll be on first base with 2 outs.
Henderson visibly vexed with himself there, hitting Price, who struggled today on an 0-2 pitch.
And so far, the Blues have came up 7 times, 7 innings. They've only had a 1-2-3 frame just once. Back in the bottom of the 6th, Jacob Henderson set him down in order. First pitch swinging now is Luke Pemberton. And he fouls it away, 0-1 rather. Henderson, 2 2/3, has only given up 1 hit, and he hit Darius Price, who now leads off at first. The 0-1 in there for a strike, and he quickly has the 9-hitter Pemberton ahead, 0-2. Jacob working quickly, the high set, the 0-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Jacob Henderson, 3 scoreless innings, only giving up 1 hit on a very efficient 39 pitches. We go to the 8th inning. Saints are down to their final 6 outs, and they need 6 more runs. Top of the 8th inning, and Aaron, the Saints can finally breathe a sigh of relief as Cameron Maybe's out of the game, but that sigh might be short-lived as another good reliever, Chase Villalobos, comes up.
That's right. Villalobos comes in 2.49 ERA on the season. 21 and 2/3 innings pitched, Anthony. Only 15 strikeouts, and as we talked about in between innings, a lot of hits, 28 hits. Opponents are hitting .330 against him. However, only 6 walks. Anthony, in his last game against the OC Riptide, he went 4 innings, allowing no runs.
So Aiden Biagian will be the first batter he faces. He tries to bunt it up the third base line. Just foul, 0-1. Aaron, you got to like that idea from Biagian because really the Saints need base runners at this point.
They do, and it starts with a couple runners. Biagian squared there, especially if the corner infielders are playing behind the bags, as these slow infielders are. Might as well give it a shot.
Biagian 0 for 2 in his Arroyo Seco debut. Struck out swinging in his last at-bat, and he takes ball 1 in his third. So the book now closed on Cameron Maybe through 110 pitches, 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, only gave up that 1 earned run way back in that first inning. No walks, and he struck out 5. Only faced 26 hitters in those 7 innings, easily the start of the summer for Maybe, as Biagian takes outside 2 balls and 1 strike. And he's really shut down this Arroyo Seco offense that's been ice cold since winning their 5th game in a row on Sunday. Now loses a 4 straight as Aiden Biagian whacks a single in the left field. His first hit with the Arroyo Seco Saints comes in the top of the 8th inning, a leadoff single.
Great swing there, Anthony. Line drive in the 5-6 hole. Clean base hit. Hopefully that sparks a rally in this 8th inning. The Saints down by 6 runs, but they have the leadoff man on, and they have the right guys coming up.
That's right. You also mentioned hitters are hitting .339 off of Villalobos this year. That ERA deflated by a high strand rate as Rogers, a little in between on that bunt attempt, takes strike 1 of the breaking ball.
And also the low walks. If you don't walk guys, that always plays in your favor as a pitcher. That's been the difference in this ballgame, the walks for the Saints pitching staff and the lackluster defense. For the Blues, they've had minimal walks and excellent defense.
The 0-1 from the lefty Villalobos. Misses high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Biagian, a very quick runner over at first at 21 bags with Glendale Community College. Always a threat to steal, but let's see how fast Villalobos can get to the plate. Jordan Rogers takes a curveball that flings in there for a strike, 1-2. One of the best breaking balls we've seen Villalobos toss. The good old 12-6 curve that froze Rogers.
Blues infield pinched in here, especially up the middle, looking to turn 2.
The 1-2, there goes the runner, and it's chopped foul up the third base line. Seven runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Slow Blues. 1 run, 6 hits, 3 errors from the Arroyo Seco Saints. And for San Luis Obispo, all 7 of the runs coming in the first 2 innings. 4 in the first, 3 in the second. And since then, it's been zeros put up by Chris Stamos and Jacob Henderson. Villalobos set of the belt, tosses over to first. Biagian back safely.
Anthony Drew Cowley looming on deck. He's 3 for 3 in this ball game. Would love to see him come up to the plate with a couple runners on.
Well, the question is, can Jordan Rogers find a way on base here? The 1-2. Scooped into center field. Cole Gabrielson ranging to his right. A can of corn play for him for the first out of the 8th. Gabrielson's been very active in that center field spot the past few innings. And once again, Villalobos picking up or maybe left off, inducing a lot of weak contact. This one, out number 1. And now All-Star Drew Cowley will step to the plate. 3 for 3 today. Scored a Saints lone run in the first inning, an RBI grounded by Jared Buhonda. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch breaking ball. Misses the zone inside. 1-0.
You see the respect for Drew Cowley going first pitch spin.
Cowley's had the propensity to ground into double plays, though. He's bounced into 4 of them this season. The 1-0. Breaking ball. Makes Cowley flinch, but it misses inside. Cowley, the most double plays bounced into. In 19 games, he's bounced into 4. The next closest, a couple of Saints with 2. Infield and double play depth. Biagian will take the lead off first. Doesn't go here. And Cowley takes strike 1. Back-to-back breaking balls, and that missed. And Villalobos said enough was enough. Here's the fastball, and Cowley didn't take the bat off his shoulders. He's still ahead of the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Drew Cowley will take ball 3.
Cowley showcasing excellent discipline in this at-bat.
Here's the 3-1. Misses inside, ball 4. And Aaron, you might want to throw a parade because that's the first walk of the day for Arroyo Seco, and it comes in the 8th.
That's right, and for Drew Cowley, the 4th time on base in this ball game. 3 singles and a walk. Here comes the always dangerous Matt Wong.
Wong, after doubling in his first at-bat way back in inning number 1, made 2 outs since. He's 1 for 3 on the day.
And Anthony, that double was down the right field line. Wong loves that left field line, but he hit one down the right field line in that first inning, and that led to a run.
He also went the other way in his second at-bat. F9 to Luke Pemberton. Bounced out in his 3rd, and here he is with his 4th AB in the top of the 8th. First and second, 1 out. First pitch to Wong. His breaking ball misses in the dirt. Seco has gone in this game. Way back in the first inning, they had runners on second and third, 1 out. Now they have a couple men aboard, first and second with 1 out here in the 8th. 7 innings later. The 1-0 laced into left field. That'll get in for a base hit. Serge Placencia, the third base coach, will hold the speedy Biagian, and the bases are loaded for Arroyo Seco with only 1 out.
A great swing by Matt Wong. The Saints starting up a rally here with the bases loaded and 1 out. And a huge opportunity, Anthony, for the newcomer.
The newcomer, Jared Buhanda, cleanup hitter in right field today. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts in his last at-bats. Way back in the first inning, brought in the only Arroyo Seco run up to this point. An RBI ground out to the second baseman, Darius Price. Now the bases are loaded. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch, breaking ball yet again from Villalobos. This time it finds the top of the zone, 0-1. Bases loaded, 1 out. Saints with one of their first golden opportunities since way back in the first inning. Bases loaded, 1 out. Villalobos bounces that one foul off to the right. And just like that, he's quickly in an 0-2 hole. Already a strikeout victim twice.
And on deck sits Matt Marlowe, who had a deep flyout in his last at-bat, but he's 0 for 3.
No balls. 2 strikes to Jared Buhanda. Can he muster in another run for Arroyo Seco? Villalobos set at the belt from the windup. Kicks and deals the 0-2. Bounced on over to first. Tolia will step on the bag for 1. He looks home, but Biagian is too fast, and the Saints will score. It is a second RBI ground out of the day from Jared Buhanda. It's now 7-2 in the top of the 8th.
Productive out there, but the Saints don't need productive outs. They need guys on base.
That's right. The Blues would welcome trading outs for runs. They do it here. Zach Tolia making the smart play, stepping on first. Now the Saints have second and third with a couple outs. And a base hit from Matt Marlowe will make this very interesting. First pitch to the third baseman. In there for a strike.
Anthony, you alluded to it. Base hit would score 2 if it gets to the outfield. Runners running on contact with 2 outs. Matt Wong has some speed at second base. Outfielder's very shallow for Matt Marlowe.
Cole Gabrielson in center, Luke Pemberton in right, up into play shallow. While Garrett Brooks, a left fielder, playing deep. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball. Marlowe flinches at it, but it's a perfect pitch yet again. Jared Villalobos, one strike away from ending Arroyo Seco's jam. Set of the belt, the 0-2. Breaking ball again, flipped into center field. Cole Gabrielson, who was playing shallow already, comes in to make the catch for the third out. And that will end the inning. Jared Buhonda, once again, an RBI ground out, but the Saints strand second and third with 2 outs. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's now 7-2 on this Saturday afternoon. Top of the order coming up for the 4th time this afternoon for the Blues. CJ Maciel, Garrett Brooks, and Nate Schmela coming up for the 5th time, rather, against Jacob Henderson, who's been mowing down these Blues hitters left and right. 3 innings pitched, only giving up 1 hit and 2 base runners on the day. And he'll face the pesky leadoff hitter CJ Maciel, who's 1 for 2. He takes a strike, 0-1. Henderson working quickly, induces the swing and miss. Maciel on the day, 3 at-bats in the first 3 innings. 1 for 2, a couple runs scored, and a walk. That walk came way back in the first inning, where Carson McKinney had him in an 0-2 count and proceeded to miss with the next 4 pitches.
Anthony, the first inning put the Saints in such a hole they've been unable to climb out of.
The 0-2. This is outside.
Very tough to go down like that early in a ball game and try to climb back in.
It really stole momentum. Those first 2 innings where the Blues put up 7 runs, didn't it?
Agreed.
The 1-2 to Maciel. Bounced on over up the third baseline. Marlowe charges from the infield grass. Will toss it on over to Rogers. 1 up, 1 down in the bottom of the 8th.
Give the Saints credit. They haven't quit yet. Only a 5-run lead. And we've seen the Saints put up 5-run innings before. Not out of the realm of possibilities to come back.
Not quite. They were a hit away from making this a safe situation. A 7-4 ball game. Instead, they have to settle for 7-2. Here on the bottom of the 8th inning. Now it's Garrett Brooks' turn, the left fielder. GB's 0 for 3 on the day with a run and a walk. Of course, that run and walk also coming in the first inning against McKinney. Also struck out twice today. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Henderson, the third pitcher on the day, by far the most effective. Now 3 1/3. Very efficient. Pitch count only at 47 pitches. Only giving up a couple base runners, as Brooks finds himself in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Chris Damos followed in relief of Carson McKinney. Gave up 4 innings pitched, rather. 6 hits, 3 runs, and 2 of them earned. Stamos unhelped up by some sloppy defense. 3 errors by the Saints, all of them coming in the first 2 innings. as Brooks will line that one foul up the third base line into the Saints bullpen. Fourth pitch of the at-bat coming up.
And Anthony, give Saints pitchers credit for dealing with adversity, dealing with sloppy play defensively, and battling.
The 2-2. Bounced on over to second and into right field for the Blues' 10th hit of the game. So Garrett Brooks, a one-out single, his first base knock of the day. He's now 1 for 4 with a walk and a run. And he's on first base with 1 out. And that'll bring up Nate Schmela, the all-star catcher.
And Anthony, Schmela's been remarkable today, as he has been all season. You mentioned an all-star catcher, originally from Ashburn, Virginia, and 343 batting average on the year, 10 RBIs, only 17 strikeouts.
And Schmela continues his hot streak into this one. 2 for 4 on the day. Both of his hits coming in the first 2 innings, a single and a double. Also has a couple runs scored. And he'll take a free swing at the 1-0 pitch and foul it back. Schmela hitting nearly 100 points better than the slow Blues average. Schmela hitting .333, the Blues just .241, bottom half in the CCL. As he'll bounce one over to short. Cali, the flip to second base for 1, and that's all they can get. As having a little bit of a hard time finding the bag is second baseman Arden Biagian. And there's 2 outs. A fielder's choice bounced into by Schmela. And now the cleanup hitter Tolia will stride at the plate.
And Anthony, Drew Cali looks like he's been playing shortstop all summer for Arroyo Seco. Doesn't skip a beat there.
So smooth with the hands is Drew Cali.
Such a veteran.
The Headsy veteran as well. Just ready to start his graduate season over in Eugene with the Ducks. Hit over 400, missed a huge chunk of the season after broken his hamate bone against Stanford. Ended up coming back, rallying back, and hitting 4th for an Oregon team that lost in the regionals, the Louisville regionals. As Zach Tolia will swing and miss twice against Henderson to quickly get behind 0-2. So far, the Blues have had at least 1 base runner in 7 of the 8 innings. That just shows you how dominant this offense has been. 10 hits, 3 walks, and a plethora more on the base pads as Tolia will foul that one away. Schmela the lead off at first. The 0-2 once again hacked foul behind Cooper Harris. And we're going to need a 5th pitch in this at-bat. Tolia, despite hitting just .241 on the season, the team leader in home runs with 4. Also the man the Blues look to when they need an RBI, leading the squad with 23 of them. 7 more than second place, Gallegos. As the 0-2 hits off of Cooper Harris's glove, and jogging in towards second is Schmela. So another runner in scoring position for the Blues with just 2 outs. So Henderson still 1 pitch away from getting out of this mini jam.
And Anthony, that's how you know it's not the Saints' day. Balls are going off Cooper Harris's glove. We rarely, if ever, say that. Ball's just not bouncing the Saints' way.
It's been a rough day for Arroyo Seco. Jumping out to a 1-0 lead in the first, and the Blues struck back for 4 in the first and 3 more in the second to quickly take a 7-1 lead before most of these fans got in their seats. The 1-2. Misses up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Close take for Tolia. Cody Darcy waiting on deck. Henderson set at the chest. The pitch, swung on and missed strike three. Zach Tolia, strikeout victim for the second time today. And how about Jacob Henderson coming in relief, 4 shutout innings and striking out 5 and only giving up 3 base runners throughout. Last up's due up for the Saints. Top of the 9th inning coming up. The Blues are 3 outs away rather from extending Arroyo Seco's losing streak to 5. Last up for the Saints here in the top of the 9th. This game whizzing right along. Just barely 2.5 hours into this one. Max Blessinger will lead things off, show bunt, and take a ball. It'll be Blessinger, Walker, and Cooper Harris. And if the Saints want to come back, you might see them bat around in the top of the 9th, down 5. Jared Villalobos to Blessinger. Bouncer over to third. Cody Darcy bobbles it, and Max Blessinger is going to be on base with Slow's first error of the day. We'll go to Cody Darcy in the hot corner.
Anthony, that is certainly an error, but a tough play there, and Blessinger gets out down the line very quickly. It would have been a tough play for Darcy regardless.
So Darcy boots the ball up the third base line, and the Saints have a leadoff base runner. They'll take it any way they can at this point. Blessinger will lead off first. He leads the team in stolen bases. But a tough ask for him to steal in a 5-run ball game against the lefty Villalobos, who delivers a first pitch curveball that freezes Jackson Walker 0-1.
Jackson Walker's been swinging a very hot stick. Had to hit his last at bat in the 3-4 hole. Hoping to get on base here and start a rally for Arroyo Seco.
As Walker's quickly behind 0-2. That single in a right field in his last at bat extended his hitting streak to 3. J-Walk finding himself into the lineup lately. Saints have been low on position players due to a rash of injuries, and Jackson Walker really taking advantage. Can he get on base here? He's got a lot of work to do in an 0-2 hole, and he bounces one up the first base line that Tolia lets go foul. After this, the Arroyo Seco Saints will return home and have a rematch against the Academy Barons. Of course, that 1-run loss last night really stung with Arroyo Seco. The tying run on third with nobody out, and they were unable to score him. 2 strikeouts and a measly ground out as the 1-2 fouled back to the screen. 0-2, rather.
And following tomorrow's game, Anthony, a much-needed day off for the Saints, having lost their last 4 ball games, in danger of dropping 5 straight.
Well, a much-needed 4 days off for the Arroyo Seco Saints as the CCL All-Star Game set to play over at MLB Academy. First pitch set for 7 p.m. on Wednesday on Bally Sports West.
Not for all the Saints, though. We got 5 Saints in the game.
The 0-2 misses just low. Cooper Harris, Drew Cowley, Kyson Donahue, Matt Wong, and Chris Stamos, the 5 All-Stars for Arroyo Seco this summer. As the 1-2, there goes Blessinger. The pitch is high. Throw on down to second, not in time. And Max Blessinger has a stolen base, his 11th of the summer. 13th, rather, of the summer. He's only been caught one time.
It's a great clip for Bless. Dangerous, stealing down 5 runs in the last inning, but if you get a good jump, why not?
It also looked like it kind of surprised Nate Schmela, who double pumped on down to second. C.J. Maciel was late to cover the bag. Lefty-lefty matchup. Walker has worked it from 0-2 to 2-2. The pitch. Fouled away yet again. Jackson Walker being a pest at the plate against Villalobos. He bounces one over to first. Zach Tolia will walk to the bag for out number 1. Max Blessinger will advance 90 feet over to third. And there's the first out. Arroyo Seco down to its final couple outs.
And a big at bat here for Cooper Harris. 0 for 3 on the day. Even if the Saints don't come back and win this game, you'd like to at least muster together a couple hits, a couple base runners, just something positive for the bus ride home, and hopefully that carries over into the game tomorrow against the Barons.
First pitch is set for 6 p.m. at Jackie Robinson Field. The final game before 4 days off for Arroyo Seco, as the All-Star break is nearing for both the major leagues and the CCL. As Cooper Harris steps in, takes strike 1. A strikeout victim twice today, 1 looking, 1 swinging. Also flew out to left in foul territory. Has to bend out of the way of this fastball to even up the count.
And the Blues infield back here, Anthony, conceding that run, ahead by 5.
Blessinger's on third base with 1 out. The 1-1 of the All-Star catcher Harris. Bouncer up the middle, that'll squirt towards center field. Maciel will pick it up, desperation heave, not in time. It one hops past Zach Tolia, and Harris will step on first base. What should be an infield single for the catcher, his first hit of the day. And Arroyo Seco has its 3rd run of the afternoon. It's now 7-3. So back-to-back runs in the 8th and 9th inning for the Saints. Still 4 runs away from knotting this game up as Biagian rips a base hit into left field. 1 hop into the glove of Garrett Brooks. And Arroyo Seco putting a little rally together. First and second 1 out as the lineup flips over.
Great sign for Biagian. Another line drive in the 5-6 hole. He went there earlier for a base hit. And it's a good sign for Arroyo Seco. And now you have the top of the order coming up. Dangerous hitters, Jordan Rogers, of course, Drew Cowley, Matt Wong. So if the Saints can get 1 more guy on base, they bring the tying run to the plate.
And bullpen start in a stir for San Luis Obispo. Jared Villalobos has worked himself in a little bit of a jam. First and second 1 out. Jordan Rogers will take a strike.
And you love to see it from the Saints. They could have just folded away in this last inning, but they're fighting, trying to claw back into this ball game, putting some pressure on the San Luis Obispo Blues team.
Tying run on deck, and Drew Cowley as Rogers bounces this one into the hole. Base hit left field. Cooper Harris will chug on home. He'll score. And all of a sudden, it's a 7-4 ball game, Aaron, with the tying run coming to the plate.
And the right guy is coming to the plate. This is Drew Cowley. He has 3 hits on the day and a walk. That was a great piece of hitting by Jordan Rogers, knocking in his Wichita State Shockers teammate, Cooper Harris. So a nice rally for the Saints. They put up 2 in this top of the 9th inning. Still more work to be done, trailing by 3 with 1 out.
So the Saints have reached the 10-hit mark this afternoon, matching San Luis Obispo's 10. The only thing that matters, though, is the run. 7-4, San Luis Obispo leads, and Drew Cowley striding to the plate, and he hasn't made it out today. Got on base all 4 times. He's 3 for 3 with a run scored.
And he faced Villalobos in his last at-bat and walked. It's a very tough matchup for a lefty, but if you're going to have any lefty up, as the Blues are going to have a chat on the mound. Anthony, my point is, if you're going to have any lefty up, to face a nasty lefty, then your pick would be Drew Cowley, 10 out of 10.
That's right. He has 2 home runs on the year. And knowing that, Jared Villalobos will be taken out of the game. And Slow will need another pitcher to get these final 2 outs. We're going to take a quick break here at Sinsheimer Field in San Luis Obispo. This game has just gotten interesting, folks. Drew Cowley represents the tying run when we come back. Top of the 9th inning, and the tying run is at the plate in the form of Drew Cowley, and Blues head coach Bob Miller is going to make what hopes to be his final pitching change of the ballgame. Kevin Lyons ready to come out looking for his second save of the summer.
And Kevin Lyons riding a 7-inning scoreless streak coming into this ballgame. On the season, Anthony, an incredible ERA of 1.14 and only 18 strikeouts, but that's in 23 2/3 innings pitched. So again, 7-inning scoreless streak for Lyons.
Well, he'll try and extend his scoreless streak by 2/3 of an inning here against Drew Cowley. Runners on first and second, 1 out. Biaggian will take the lead off a second. Rogers off a first. First pitch on the way to Cowley. Misses high, ball 1. And all of a sudden, the Saints, once down 7-1 in the top of the 8th inning, have now brought the tying run to the plate with 1 out in the form of Drew Cowley, who has knocked 2 shots out of the ballpark. And if he gets 3, this game's tied. The 1-0 from Lyons. In there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. And for the Blues, they've really had a closer by committee all summer long. 6 different players have at least 1 save on their roster. Lyons trying to take the team lead with the 2 saves right here. The 1-1 to Cowley. In the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Matt Wong waits on deck. He's already hit a home run at Sinsheimer Field to left field. 2-1 to count to Drew Cowley.
And Anthony, I think Cowley's best trait is his extraordinary discipline. Really rarely chases.
He's already walked 9 times this season. One of the highest rates on the team. The 2-1. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the go-ahead run is 1 miss away from striding to the plate. Outfield extremely shallow for the power hitter Cowley. Here's the 3-1. Misses high, ball 4, and the Saints have the bases loaded yet again. Matt Wong will stride to the plate, representing the go-ahead run.
Drew Cowley didn't take the bat off his shoulder in that at-bat, and he didn't need to. 5 non-competitive pitches. Cowley is aboard for the 5th time today. And Matt Wong certainly has the power to tie this game or even take the lead.
Wong second in the CCL South Division with 5 home runs. He's also set to go to Compton along with teammate Drew Cowley for the CCL All-Star Game on Wednesday. Can he have one final stamp on this first half of the season? He represents the go-ahead run against the righty Kevin Lyons. First pitch on the way. Line in the left field, but foul. Wong just early on that fastball.
Nice swing off the bat of Wong. As you said, just a little out front. The infield back for the Blues, looking to turn 2 here. However, the infield isn't really pinched in.
Wong has bounced into 2 double plays this season. Lyons trying to make a number 3 here. The 0-1 from the windup. Misses high and inside, ball 1.
Lyons is struggling a little bit with his command. Missing his catcher's glove often, and the Saints look to capitalize on that.
Bullpen still stirring for the Blues. Just in case this inning gets out of hand for Lyons, Bob Miller eagerly watching on. Wong represents the go-ahead run. Here's the 1-1 from Lyons. Line shot towards second base. Diving play, Price on to second for 1. On to first for the... No, he was off the bag. Zach Tolia had the final out ready to go. The throw beat him, but the first baseman was off the bag, and the Saints score the 5th run. It's now a 2-run ball game.
Now the tying run is on base. That is Matt Wong at first base with 2 outs.
Boy, did Wong give that one a ride. It was a hot shot towards the second baseman, Price. He had a dive for it, flipped it over to Maciel at short, who tossed over to Zach Tolia, and if his foot would have been on base, this game would have been over. Instead, it's a fielder's choice that splits the runners. First and third, 2 outs for the Arroyo Seco Saint, who's making his debut, Jared Buhonda.
Anthony, a great turn there by the Blues. You also have to credit Matt Wong hustling out of the box. He beats out that double play, extends the ball game here.
Buhonda 0 for 4 today with a couple of strikeouts. The 2 times he did put it in play, he got an RBI, a couple of RBI bounce outs. 1 in the first and 1 in the 8th. And anything in the gap here will tie this game up. Center fielder Cole Gabrielson shaded towards left center with 2 outs, and the runner's cornered. First pitch popped up and foul and out of play. Lyons delivers a first pitch strike. Buhonda still looking for his first Arroyo Seco hit. Aiden Biagian, who's also making his debut, has 2 on the day. Rogers off at third. More importantly, Matt Wong, the tying run, off at first. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball to second. Darius Price from the outfield tosses over to first, and the slow Blues survive a late push by the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Well, nice comeback effort from the Saints. It's just too little, too late. You think back to the errors earlier in the ball game and some of the walks by the pitchers, Anthony. If they had limited a couple of those, then the Saints could tie it in that 9th inning.
So Arroyo Seco puts up a fight at the end, scoring 4 runs in the final 2 innings, but their comeback attempt is 2 runs shy, as Cameron Maybe, 7 innings of 1-run ball, will get a win, an emphatic W for him, his best start of the summer, while Kevin Lyons gets the save.
And Anthony, some bright spots for the Saints. You think about Drew Cowley reaching base 5 times, and then how about Jacob Henderson coming out of the pen and just dominating. The Saints pitching staff and defense don't allow a run after the 2nd inning, so you take away those 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and the Saints really dominate. Of course, it's a 9-inning game. That's why you play all 9 innings, but definitely a lot of positives to build on if you're the Saints for the game tomorrow against the MLB Academy Barons.
And that game will be at Jackie Robinson Field. First pitch is set for 6 p.m. Until then, from Sinsheimer Field in San Luis Obispo, Anthony Vasquez alongside Aaron Goldstein saying so long and enjoy your Saturday night. The slow Blues have handed the Arroyo Seco Saints its 5th consecutive loss. They'll try and end the winning streak tomorrow. And until then, we'll see you next time on the Arroyo Seco Saints Media Network on YouTube.